We'll start right after. The recording started.
Is Scott trying to zoom in tonight?
Just texting him right now.
Because if so, we might want to spin it a little bit more. I'm sorry to. Unless you're gonna, I don't know, how do you want to arrange that?
We could try. Wait, Lauren, what's?
Yeah.
He today told me that he wants to move forward with trying, like, to ask to be on the board, so I emailed Josh. Three-way, hopefully things will move forward. All right.
Good luck, Chuck. We're working on better things. That really does not sit well with me at all.
Yep.
So, should I? Right, I moved. Did somebody second?
I'll call vote for Amy,
Yes.
Kate,
Yes.
O'Donnell, yes ma'am, and Lauren.
Yep. Wait, we don't really even need a roll call, right?
Oh, yeah. No. Yes.
Or-
Sounds good.
Somebody who does not open the meeting. I see you bring your, isn't it? Anything official about my time, or is he just not here?
Like I said, last we spoke, he wasn't sure about his appointment
Uh,
and that he knew he had expired on the 1st. So I'm not sure if he was seeking someone to reach out to him or anyways, he's not present to your point.
Welcome.
Can I ask what meeting you're at? Oh, yeah, okay.
Is it open to the public?
It is a public meeting, yes, I just,
We're just making sure, because like, people don't
Especially where it's-
meetings.
yeah.
Yeah.
But thank you for taking the time. I appreciate you.
Who are you?
I don't know where I live. On, Mountain Drive. My wife and I moved here a little over a year and a half ago.
Welcome. And you're just interested in planning?
Yeah, I've been looking for ways to get involved in the community and I heard through the grapevine and it's an interesting.
It is very interesting.
I know.
All right, make sure we have your contact information.
I do, he emailed me earlier today.
Okay, great, so we know how to.
So you left us with the news and you.
No, I didn't know it was him, because I didn't obviously have he didn't send a picture, but maybe you could have. But also I didn't know that he was actually inquiring about the Board of Appeals. And so I didn't know that you'd be attending the planning board.
Jeff?
I am Jeff, yeah. Hello, nice to meet you.
All right, so this meeting is gonna be different than our usual meetings in that we don't have anybody in front of us today, like, we're not dealing with any projects. We're dealing with some revision,
Zoning.
proposing revisions to zoning.
We're reviewing all of the special permits that city council has and that we have and trying to figure out. Are they in the right place or should we try and suggest switching them? And then we're also going over a few suggestions on changes for zoning that will hold hands with the comprehensive plan that we're working.
So happy to have you here, but don't think that this is like what our usual meeting is like,
No.
because it's not going to be.
Because normally when people are appointed, this kind of meeting is what we think we're getting into, and it turns out to be totally
And
not.
we can never.
But otherwise, yeah, this is what I'm able to do. I'm happy to do the rest of it, but I thought they were all going to be like this.
I know, and yet it's probably the first time in how many years you've been on this board that we've done this. In a regular meeting time.
Yeah.
It's actually your first project. I was thinking about this the other day. Wasn't your first project? We had a meeting in the Children's Museum. No, the Heritage Park room. And wasn't it relative to the Massachusetts Green High Performance Computing Center? Was that your first meeting?
It wasn't that, it was something just like it.
Okay.
It was one of these things where I came into it the end, it was one of the planning parents where everybody sits around the big table and what else is in public winter questions that have no idea.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I was completely removed.
Yeah.
The one after that may have been the initial ones were the two wide.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, yeah. Okay, at the Amazon site, 161, 161, Lower Westfield Road. Yeah.
It was us, and it was a 15-member city council at that time. I think it was at least one of the board too. All of them gathered to ceremonially welcome Big Wide Holyoke.
And they never came.
Yeah, well, they actually had good reasons to last, but.
Yeah.
So, Lauren, which part of this are we dealing with first?
I'm gonna hand things over.
Okay,
Jeff.
so in your package, you should have two sections. There's one that's, and it's gonna say city council special permit, and the other section should say zoning topic.
Do you wanna look at?
We
You
have an
can't,
expert.
you can't keep these, but you can look
Yeah.
at them.
Certainly. So the question I've got for you all, do you want to start with the zoning first or the city council special permit? Does it matter? Maybe start with the city council special permit
Yeah.
first. Okay, so let's start with, there's a thicker of the two packets here. So what's here is basically all 72 of the special permits that are currently under some form of city council control. Now, I'm assuming based on all the emails that we sent you in the past several days, that you've all looked at this and you're all ready to answer.
I'm ready to answer.
Oh, wonderful. So I don't know, is there something specific that you all, do you want to take these one by one? Or do you want to approve certain ones that you've got questions about? How do you want to move forward?
What we talked about all of my questions before, do I need to bring that up or has that been integrated into this already?
I think the majority of it has been integrated, but
Okay.
like, I am so deep in this that I can't
Yeah,
remember.
can't
what was
remember.
first and-
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Want to just skim through it to see, go right one by one?
I mean, it's up to you how you want, I mean,
Not in detail,
I mean, so we won't get into much detail, but let's take it from number one, table 43A3 multifamily dwellings IGSC. You've got the recommendation and you have a possible solution. Does anyone have any issues with that? I mean, is this the way you want to go with this? Because I mean, this is,
I think so.
okay,
Is what our hope and dream is by the end of tonight is to have a mandate of how we can adjust the zoning ordinance and, the table of use and the,
use chart, the table use chart,
Yeah.
table 4.3.
Because basically what would need to happen, say we said yes to everything here. What I'm assuming what needs to happen is that you need to like write up all these proposed.
Exactly,
changes,
so,
And then they get sent to city
Exactly.
council.
right, as a
but.
package.
We haven't tabled it for 10 years.
And what you're asking us to do is approve to give you the go-ahead to do those written revisions.
Which could be significant. Some of these things are gonna be writing whole new sections of ordinance.
I think what we should do in terms of putting it in front of the council is say, these are the ones that we can easily change.
Yeah.
These are the things we want you to approve based on easy changes.
Yeah.
And then does the city council have the appetite for the bigger changes before we do a total deep dive into things that are,
Sure.
I concur.
Right.
that's right? That's kind of what we were thinking.
Yeah, absolutely, no, absolutely. Yeah, I had one more note and I just lost it.
Yeah, so this first one, that's a no-brainer, it seems to me.
Great.
Right, it's a simple update,
Do we
okay.
want to vote on each one?
It probably wouldn't hurt just to, so we can call number one done. Okay,
And because we're not on Zoom, we can just raise hands, right? We don't. need
Yeah.
to do a roll
there's no
call.
roll.
So I
call.
don't have to.
We have to make a motion on
What
each
do you
one, or
have
can
to
we
raise
make a
hands?
motion to vote on them as we take them up? We have to make a motion for this one.
Or
Well,
all
but
the
it-
question, they come up with it, you always have, you don't operate as one way.
Or- Right, or can you just do it, we approve this and later we'll vote the whole package? Or is that might work?
I like that better.
So we're now, everyone's agreeing to number one. Number one sounds good.
Yes, and maybe we only need to keep note of the ones that we're not going to approve.
Or require
Or have
further,
questions.
because
Yeah.
again, this is based on our best recommendation, best solution.
Because the other thing is, I think this is gonna take enough work that like, say there are 10 in here we're not sure about yet, we can approve the rest of them and you guys get started. And
Yeah,
come back
exactly.
to those 10 at our next meeting,
Right. And
right?
again, some of these, some of them are just plain, we're gonna let the city council keep them. So there's obviously no, I mean, unless other board members say, you think you want them, then we'll have that lively discussion, you know?
A lot of them, it strikes me that since we're going to take them up one by one, we might as well have a consensus on the record for each one as we go.
Okay.
And then when we go back, or when we go back, instead of what did we do with this one, we will have the tidy list there.
Yeah.
And at that point, it can easily be divided, you know, according to our notes, into like, this one is too much trouble for now, we'll come back to it. This one will be put before the city council like, immediately. And possibly this
As
one.
soon as it gets written.
Yeah, this one is going to be no work at all, and it's going to be controversial, so maybe we don't follow it.
Well, I know that this is, I'm speaking on behalf of the OPED director. His thought was not taking these to the board, the council rather, till the new council is seated. So is there, or does the board want us to, or is that to be determined at this point?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But we have.
I work in me all day.
Number one,
A move that we approve number one. Second.
all in favor? Aye.
So the next one was, it's table 43A4 boarding house, and then this,
For a conversation with you about.
right, and at this point, let the city council keep it.
But we need to do the amendment. if
Yes, oh,
they
sure.
To update it.
Right, because the table doesn't match, so we need to make everything match, that it add the BC to section 726 to match tables 4.3 and 5.2.
So what we're proposing is not that we're changing it, we're
No.
just rectifying.
All we're doing is, because, right, because it,
Correcting it.
correct.
I move that we approve that.
Okay, I'm going to make a friendly amendment so that it's available on the record, saying we're approving number 2 with the changes recommended.
Yes.
Now do this, all I concur.
So number 3, related to table 43A5 mobile home park, is only currently allowed in an RA. Recommendation was for the city council to keep their as a special permit, but yet we, under solution, we need to add a definition of mobile home park, add a narrative from mobile home park into the zoning ordinance, because currently, unlike DR or something, there's nothing else there. So it would actually be to actually create a mobile home park ordinance. So it would be to allow the city council to keep, but create a ordinance for it.
That one's gonna be complicated, I feel like.
What we've done for a lot of the things that we've done at additional ordinance work for is pull from local municipalities and to see how they structured them.
No, I get that part, I just don't see this,
It won't be as fast as.
yeah.
Well, I mean, right now, they're allowed by right regardless, it's just that they're not defined.
Yes,
Just
So- Okay,
so I'm saying I just don't see that.
understood.
Definition happening,
I think if we give them something, no.
no budge.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's just.
Well, I think, you know, looking back at it, and I'm not trying to drag this out too long, but back when we were doing, was it small homes? Or was it maybe the ADU ordinance? Even Linda Bacon was like, why are we only keeping this in the DR zone? We should be expanding this everywhere. So she actually kind of had the flavor to want to do it, but we perhaps just said, well, or others, maybe it was other counselors said, well, let's just start here and move on. So, but similarly, this might be one that is really a no-brainer for them.
Number 3.
It's number 3,
Yeah.
correct?
So I move that we approve. Adding the changes suggested.
Second. All in favor? Aye. By consensus.
Okay, so number 4 is a tricky one. So also to note that I know that Parker's been going through a lot of this stuff. So I know that I think you've already pulled other PUDs and perhaps other mobile home park stuff. So we already have a lot that's in draft form. So, oh, it's a complete utter mess. It's a terrible, terrible mess. And so at this point, it says, you know, replace CC. So this is right now, it's currently, we don't know if it's the planning board or the city council because it flip-flops so many times throughout the ordinance. But so with that, we would want to basically create a whole new ordinance for it.
So can I move that we're empowering staff to work on revisions and bring them back to us?
And the subcommittee, and arguably the subcommittee.
Yes.
Yeah.
Planning board staff and subcommittee members to bring this issue back to us after they've got more data. With our general approval of
Yeah.
the direction in which they're moving. That's my long convoluted motion.
Just give me a second, it sounds good.
I think I shouldn't be seconding, because I'm so, I realize that.
So am I. Oh, kind of sort of, right? Because I haven't answered the last meeting.
Maybe
So
second.
my in
I second it.
All right, it's seconded. We're good. Everybody?
Yes.
Okay, very good.
Yeah, definitely.
We're at the city council special permit meetings. That will be the zoning one.
We're both copies.
No, yeah, you're fine.
I don't know, I'm just,
We just did 4.
yeah, I just don't have to think saying this is a total mess.
Oh,
no,
that was
we
in,
said that.
Yeah.
that was in this the color document.
Okay, yes, I have it.
Yeah, if you have your,
And it breaks it down.
magnifying glass, the red text says needs to be reviewed, complete mess.
Okay, yes, that was what I was.
That's,
asking.
that's where that is.
Yeah.
Right.
I think,
Like, if you want more of our,
yeah.
like, editorial comments, they're all
I
us.
just wanted to make sure, because occasionally I've gone through the entire meetings.
Yeah.
And found that although I somehow managed to get it right in the end, I was in the wrong document.
No, you got it, maybe.
Okay,
You just added that. somewhere.
So number 5, table 43A7, independent living, retirement, assisted living in all zones as mentioned. Recommendation, remove the special permit, allow by right with site plan review. Solution was update table 4.3 by adding a Y to all the prescribed zones with section 10 site plan review approval, including RMLD, DRMB, update text to match, allow by right with section 10. Again, it's kind of repetitive, but and add the BE to table 4.3. But basically, we would be adding this as a item specifically to section 10.
so this sounds great to me. I have one question, which is kind of global. Are we at the end of this going to look at the language of section 10 and see if we can make it a little bit more bulletproof, or if we have to say no to something?
That's not, right now, this is specifically looking at the special permit, but, right, that would be added to this, this other section of zoning, the smaller booklet. If we're gonna look at section 10, which I don't think currently was,
Yeah, no,
yeah,
No, but it makes sense to break down the language.
right, so we can add that as item number 24 for further,
Yeah, that sounds great.
the things about not being all inclusive is that we have all inclusive. Okay, so this looks good to me. Everybody else? Motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
By consensus? Yeah. Passed. Number 6.
it's
Wait,
number,
can I just, let me tell Adam. Page 24 and later, did you see? Okay, all
Oh, okay, no wonder, because I'm like, let me go over and just, he said, no, I got it. I was
right,
like,
okay, and I don't know if that zoning map up there is or updated map.
it's probably very dated at this point, because no one's been in this room for 5 years.
Or,
I looked online.
the Mass Geo
Yeah.
thing tells you where. all
Oh,
the
we like your kind.
Yeah, good.
You should be on this one.
Yeah.
You read my mind.
So next up, City Council's Table 43A10, conversion of dwellings, DRBE. This is rooted in the old carriage houses, okay?
This was specifically designed to deal with
Yeah, this is-
Fairfield? Which Fairfield is neither in the DR or
Right,
BE.
correct.
So it was written to deal with Fairfield, but it
Wrongly.
didn't apply to
Right.
Fairfield.
Right. So the recommendation was remove the special permit and allow by right, and especially these days with the whole ADU ordinance, it kind of overwrites it anyways.
Right?
It's, well, now it's allowed under that Communities Act, so it's kind of like a moot point, though we can add some provisions to it. So it's update table 4.3, add the Y to table at the zones prescribed. define what conversion of dwellings is, allowed by right, and then allowed by right in DR and BE, define conversion of dwellings, allowed by right in all zones that allow for residential. Because at the end of the day, it's basically an ADU
Is what
ordinance.
ADU is.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So it's, there's gonna be some further drafting there as well as the update to table 4.3.
My only concern would be, I think this is the right thing to do, but as it's being drafted, just to make sure, is there anything from the ADU ordinance as they've proposed it, or like the regs they've proposed from the state that we might need to like,
Oh, mistake.
is there any issue where we might be allowing something by right that is outside of, are any of these carriage houses gonna break any of those
Well,
rules?
so as long, it's, well, to your point, so like right now, according to that, I forget the actual, it was just something communities, and I'm sorry, it was, basically allowing ADUs in every zone that allows for residential. So at the end of the day, those Ys in table 4.3 are only gonna reflect those areas that allow for residential zones. So IG right now does not allow for residential, so that's not gonna be a Y. But basically, every residential zone plus even the B zones, those are all gonna have Y the whole way down.
I think maybe what I'm just, meaning is that somewhere in whatever revision we do, it should say that it's by right if it also, fulfills the requirements for an ADU.
Right, but that's part of what we have to define here
Yeah.
too. Right,
Yeah, I think what she's saying is we just, even if we defined it, and make sure that it's going by the state regulation.
Or it's not.
well, we can also tailor it a little bit beyond that. We can add dimensional and whatnot.
You don't want it to add stuff.
I don't want it to be in conflict.
Right, oh yeah, it's gotta be in line with,
Right,
but
yeah.
we can also say that we don't want it in a front yard, which the state may not outline. So the board can put additional minimal criteria that, that it be 5 feet from a lot line, or that there be one parking space for every ADU unit, or whatever else you all want to add to that, or once we kind of dig into the weeds of it.
I think this is one where we're saying like, yes, but bring it back to us.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We're gonna create the narrative and whatnot, so certainly.
That's my motion.
What are
Yes.
we, what are we approving?
We're saying, yes, they should go ahead and write
Bring it
these
back to us.
recommendations and bring it back to us.
Edit and create a narrative. What's wrong?
So we're never gonna get it from them.
I think with this one, because otherwise, if they don't approve it, the state's gonna just mandate it across the board anyway, so they should approve this one. I don't see,
We've been talking about this with city council for over a year now.
well, ADUs just became a thing back in August of 24. Yeah, so, but we were talking tiny homes and remember, we just got passed under 541B was the residential residential ADU in a DR only. So I don't see why they wouldn't approve this. I think greater minds, hard one they, but we also left the council meeting, I'm assuming you saw it, so,
Did we vote on the 6th?
yes.
No, we didn't.
I
I thought you did. Oh, sorry.
We agree by consensus?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I don't know.
Who seconded it? She needs to write down who seconded it. You could put me as second. Yeah.
So next up, item number 6, this is 43B8 cemeteries, currently, or private cemeteries rather. They're only allowed in an RA, and in this case here, recommendation was for city council to keep the special permit. Again, city to be able to track and enforce Board of Health regulations. That's kind of up to the city council or city clerk's office in cooperation with the Board of Health to track that, but
We're not doing it.
shouldn't be doing a thing, so you're voting to leave it alone.
Good.
So I guess that was a second.
You moved a seconded, yes, yeah.
All approved.
So number 8, 43B10, essential services allowed in all zones by special permit, but SC by right. Recommendation, remove the special permit, allow in all zones. So these are things like telephone poles, transformers, anything that the city would have to be required to install that would basically help the lives of residents and businesses. But we'd have to update table 4.3 with the Ys across all zones. Allow Ys in all zones, staff to review section 10, site plan review is applicable, because there might be cases where that could trip some sort of site plan review, so we'd still have to review something, but basically it's all allowed by right. It just depends on what it is. We might need to further clarify that a bit too, but,
I think that does mean more.
Yeah.
There could be instances sufficiently obnoxious. So you could say, yes, but you have to get screening, you have to
right,
move it a block over.
right,
But wouldn't that be something that would trigger a site plan review?
it could.
Well, it could, as long as we have things that allow us to have some enforcement over this. And there'll be times when that's just going to have to allow it, but. The problem with site plan remains is going to be, we can't just say no to.
I think they're my book. Okay.
I
I just wanted to look up this up real quick.
Okay.
I think that's gonna be in part of question. If you do that. But if you keep getting questions about something, and I keep having to answer them, so it's on.
Right, but that's not an essential service.
It's not an essential service, but particularly giant phone towers.
You're posting something like people don't understand.
Yeah.
Okay, so the other option is we can just leave it alone.
Well, I think that, I also, we've all seen the special, the city council take 2.5 hours to review a cell tower. If we can have it come here and review it without grandstanding in
I agree.
15 minutes, that's a win.
I agree. We're more productive. I
Okay,
agree.
so I guess what I would say is I would like more direction from the board in terms of what clarification they would like. If this is getting kicked back to us, what would you like us to do research on?
One of the, I like the way that you were trying to, separate out the things that might be controversial and leave those with the elected officials. And things that are more technical in nature, leave that with us. And I don't know what the whole list of what counts as essential services would be, but do we have a sense of, or is it easy to figure out, like, are some of those controversial and others aren't?
So just as a,
Volume, like how big they are, how.
Is it? I
So-
can go by the definition.
so essential services are services provided by a public service corporation or by governmental agency through the erection, construction, alteration, or maintenance of gas, electrical, steam, or water transmission or distribution systems and collection, communication, supply, or disposal systems, whether underground or overhead, of course, it's overhand, so it means overhead, but not including wireless communications facilities. Facilities necessary for the provision of essential services include poles, wires, drains, sewers, pipes, conduits, cables, fire alarm boxes, police call boxes, traffic signals, hydrants, and other similar equipment in connection therewith.
We don't want to see most of that.
But the use case that comes to mind in my case, this may be rare enough, we should just read this as ladies and gentlemen, was a few years ago, there was this big fight on islands because the PNE moved a whole lot of electrical lines from the backyards between people's houses to in front of the street and strung them on both telephone poles and hack down trees and wow people.
So I think we leave this as a special permit. In hearing this conversation, I think that we leave it as a special permit. Or
Yeah.
it's a special permit by city council currently, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we leave it there because what you guys are talking about is the phone feature. And I feel like if that's the case, it should be. It should be the elected officials. Because I think to get enough separation in this,
Yeah.
of like what's ours and what's theirs, is super complicated and it's gonna add a ton of zoning ordinance, so
Yeah.
it's just better to leave it.
Or we can assume that this only happens once in a generation and pick it back here.
What would be the benefit of keeping it back to us? As opposed to leaving it with them?
At no point did we suggest kicking it to us, we
Right.
suggested allowing it.
Allowing it.
So I
I
think
know, but I'm asking for being said to kick it back to us.
Well, I
Like,
think I heard something about site plan review,
Yes,
so.
Easy, yeah.
Only in cases where it triggers site plan.
right,
I'm not sure thinking about it, that something like the great food prices, 20, whatever it was, we count as that.
But if they had to build some sort of transformer building for the relay of power, or if they had to do something with a water distribution system and build something or install something that was greater than 5,000 square feet, that would auto trigger site plan review.
Right, but if we're talking about
Yeah,
concerns,
because that had been because I wasn't even thinking, for site plan review, I thought, well, we're going to do this for 35 site plan review with certain criteria. And so, I was always so concerned that we would come back. But
That's already the case, though.
under certain circumstances, it would come back here, if it already would come back.
Well, it seems to me like leaving it alone could be okay for now, and if, once we've made all these changes and suddenly the city council realizes they don't have to be in control of everything, they might decide, well, we only want to see these and not they might say, we don't need to see.
I don't think they're gonna look at anything. We don't call attention.
No problem. Of having a city communication system where citizens can do what was going on, so they didn't find out because there was a stupid thing in city council.
Well, because the thing that you're mentioning with the telephone wires and the trees, did they have to get a special permit from the city council to do that? I mean,
I don't remember how
it
it went.
sounds like it should have. Right?
No, all I remember, unfortunately, is that all of a sudden, it didn't affect me because my wires.
Right.
But all of a sudden, half my neighborhood was calling me wanting to know about the trees and wires.
But if the table says allowed in all zones by special permit, do they have to get a special permit?
Yes.
for
They
it?
probably should have,
Except for SC.
right.
And that wasn't SC. So what happened with that process?
It was
Like,
probably an oversight. I mean, as terrible as it sounds, they probably didn't think that they needed to do anything and no one ever called them out.
Or the special permit got voted through in one section of the.
No.
You know, you showed up. Hearing.
said we need that. And nobody knew.
And there's no newspaper and nobody knew.
Okay, so
So,
the other suggestion that we could do is take, I mean, we just said we didn't want to do this because we felt like it should be an elected official situation, but if we're trying to ensure more oversight, then you could change it to a planning board special permit. Like, those are kind of the options. Either we
Right.
leave it alone, or we make it a planning board special permit, because by the sound of it, people aren't comfortable about it being allowed by right, which is totally fine. But like, those are the three options.
Right, but at that point, just from a staff perspective, in that point, you're better off leaving it with the city council because it's in their neighborhoods. And then later, if that water transmission thing gets built
Yeah.
on Pleasant Street, that's on them for approving it,
Yeah, your ward counselor then.
So,
If they do their job.
assuming they're following the process too.
so we're voting, we're.
Leave it alone.
Maybe the motion to do nothing and leave. Special purpose.
Yeah, I think that.
Okay.
I've been thinking about how political it might be, but it could be political, so. I think that's the right thing. You made the motion, I'll second it.
okay, so the motion is basically put this on hold for like, until a problem occurs.
Yeah.
It's off our plates.
All in favor?
The next up, item number 9, table 4.3C2, non-exempt educational BE by special permit. Recommendation, remove the special permit allowed by right in all zones as prescribed. Solution, remove special permit, update table 4.3, table of principal uses, adding Ys to the table in all zones as prescribed. And let's see, as a site plan review as applicable. Because in that case, if they're building a new non-exempt educational use, then they would obviously have to follow section 10. So currently, looking at table 4.3C2, this is allowed in RO, BL, BC, BG,
Which
BH.
page were you?
I'm looking at page 25. And it's this,
Yep.
C number
C2.
two, yep.
Okay. Political question. Right now, there is some control over these. I don't know that all of them are not tax exempt. Does anyone know whether all of them are not tax exempt?
Oh, that's a good question, then, maybe.
Well, the thing is that this is non-exempt. So
Non-exempt under Dover law.
well, Dover allows you just to be able to use,
Yeah,
does
Dover
the
lets
use.
you do anything you want.
Right.
I have interpreted this as being basically, non-Dover.
I would think so. Yeah, I would think this is a dog training school or a for-profit Brahms Academy, I would think.
Anything that isn't exempt, and there are ownership restrictions. It turns out to be fairly complicated. It's like you have to be owned by a nonprofit, or you have to be owned by a government agency to qualify as Dover. You could be doing the same thing. You could be, I don't know, a private Christian school that has decided not to get tax exempt status because they don't want any restrictions on what they're teaching. Or you could be a basketball player that is only teaching basketball and isn't sure that it qualifies and it's renting out all its courts. And at that point, you're a non-exempt educational.
Right.
Do we want to open this to all of them, whether or not they are tax exempt?
The only one that currently allows for city council, or the only one that requires city council is in DE.
So can I just ask for clarification? What we're proposing, or what you're proposing is to change that one thing from a special permit to a yes, but not to change the ones that are no to yes.
Correct,
Only to change BE from special permit to yes.
correct.
That seems totally reasonable to me.
Okay.
I would have an issue if it was residential, I think, or I would need more information.
Yeah, no, simply just removing the special permit
Just
from
from
that.
that one.
So, right, only BE.
Yeah.
Right. And then if they were building new construction, it would follow, basically the solution is that if it was following, let's see, adding the Ys to the table as prescribed, permitting would be section 10 as applicable if they were building something new.
Yeah, so the Y would only change
Right,
in.
Only change in BE.
right.
That seems completely reasonable.
Okay.
I'll propose to do that.
That's the business
Yeah, I propose we say yes to that.
okay, I agree with you. Thank you.
Yeah.
So the next one, number 10. Okay, we're 7/10 of the way through. Or was, no, yeah, 1/7 of the way through. Anyway.
Yeah, we're not 7/10.
Yeah, one.
That will be.
Let's see, table 4.3C6, funeral home. So right now, oddly enough, Yep. so oddly enough, it's currently, funeral homes are currently allowed by right in, RO, as you can see, BLBC, BG, BH, and BE. But strangely enough, in an RM 40 or 60, you need a special permit. So with that, I think the only recommendation here was to basically add Ys to the RM 40 and RM 60, because why not allow them?
Yeah, if I want to bury somebody in my backyard, and not pay taxes, I should be able to do that.
Well,
Funeral home.
that's a cemetery.
I know.
Well, no, Feeney just got one approved out in West Holyoke on the border of, they actually access the property in Westfield, but they're burying people just over the line. They own some land that goes over. So, yeah, they want to create a family plot there, which the only criteria for it really is a city council special permit with no criteria of the 932. But also it all comes down to state regulations. There has to be a vault. It has to be below the frost line and, 6 feet under basically. So, and I think they did get approved a couple weeks ago. So
You don't have a lot of funeral homes.
not anymore, because 2 got demolished by the Victory. We've lost a lot. I think we've lost more than we haven't gained any. It's just like the one down on Main Street and 2 up on Barry Farrell and the other one.
Yeah,
All in favor?
Sorry, guys, there's a lot to get through.
Gonna be here all night?
Yeah, we are gonna be here all night. Number one, I was reading.
Table 43C7, 337 hotel. Again, oddly enough, in an IP or OP, they're, the hotels are allowed by special permit.
So we're just changing those to
yes,
yes.
yep,
I say yes, I move yes.
Can you take IP out of this for the time being? Oh, no, let's hold it, if possible. Controversy, we will get into the Elm Forest thing. There will be no-
Oh, that's
That's
right, I was
true.
watching that meeting, that's right. I forgot about
that's
Just-
true.
Just hold. I
Should
think
we hold the whole thing then? Because,
Yeah.
like, why change one and not change the other
Correct.
one? Okay.
release.
that.
No.
No, this is why we have a meeting of the minds,
This is why
exactly,
we get
yeah,
everybody around the table.
yes, very productive.
Number 12, table 43C9, bed and breakfast as prescribed.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, number 12.
Number 12. Bed and breakfast, city council to keep the special permit. Solution text change, add zones to 727 bed and breakfast. I think this will just come down also to a definition thing where it's it's gotta be kind of reciprocal. I don't think under 727, it's spelled out in this double check. So,
So it's just adding language because
well,
otherwise
Yeah.
it's also
it's
in,
not changing.
well, under 727.
They wanna add zone.
We want, so in other zones, like you'll see under 726 boarding houses, it specifically calls out the zones and then references, you can then see it in take 4.3. Where under 727, it does not list the long list and it should. So it's adding that text to the narrative. City council to keep the special permit.
Yep.
And that's it. So
Yeah.
just adding that line of zones to the narrative.
I'll move that we say yes. to
Second.
Let's see, so, 43C11 is number 13, retail with incidental BE, city council to keep. CC keep SP for the zone BE, allowed by right in zones BG, BH, and IG. But looking at that, let's see the chart.
It's already allowed by right,
Okay,
so it's not, it's just keeping the special
yeah,
permit.
keep it, yeah, so city to keep, that's the crux of it. City council to keep it.
Favor?
Sure. I mean, if people in BE start complaining to us about it, then
Well, considering that there's no zone, so
There's
we have a
nobody in
BE,
there,
but
right?
no one's ever taken advantage of the BE
Yeah.
ordinance.
yeah, oh,
So-
that's right, BE doesn't really,
Exists, it
doesn't
exists in,
exist. It exists on paper, but not.
in narrative, yeah, yeah,
Right. So no use fighting about it.
correct. So we're also with 13? Okay, number 14, table 43C13, motor vehicle trailer boat sales and rental BHBEIG. So this is another one that, you're gonna hear for the next three. Well, actually, it's 7213, a direct reference, but this is a special permit to the planning board, update table 4.3 and change the CCs to planning board, add rental to the section 7213 text, existing staff review. SP goes to planning board, update table 4.3 and text as appropriate. Again, we'll get into this later on, but this is,
We run into this.
Yes. and we're already doing the reviews for the city council, except they're totally disregarding.
That's why we want to move it.
Right.
So we're good on 14?
Yeah, so we just have to add word
We
rental.
have to, everyone has to. Who did the motion, who's gonna second it, remember Brianna has to write out the phone.
I'll move. I mean, I do think when we talk about this, I think there's the chance that these three feel political sometimes. But I also feel like the risk that bad stuff happens if we don't have review of it
Is
is
bigger.
higher
Which
than
almost
the
happens.
worry about it being political.
Yes,
So,
Yeah.
just to say that,
In the end,
and we did talk about,
yeah,
to bring that back.
Yeah.
That was kind of where we ended.
But it has been political, for the most part. I've had the sense that when things land here, we default to whatever the law says that we do, whether it is an outcome anyone likes or not. Whereas over there, they ignore the law and they do whatever they think people want. And it's not great. It makes more sense to me.
so I'll move that we say yes to that.
Yeah. We all do. We all do. In fact, not a motion, when you just obviously all agree, there's a consensus. We voted on it.
Okay?
Yeah.
We're so used to we're not used to being in person anymore.
I know, we're that little robots. Like,
So we're saying we don't need a motion.
Now, I'm
Second.
saying, let us say for the purposes of this meeting, this section of it, we do not need a formal motion, we can do just our consensus.
Okay, that's even better. Yeah.
There's too many. If it comes back and calls that, I'll take my word.
Movies, the emotion.
So number 15, 43C14, this is related to motor vehicle, body repair or paint. Special permit to the planning board and then updating the table accordingly.
Yes,
Number 16, this is motor vehicle service station, which I would call under 721 eventually, but we're not still on the table. Special permit to planning board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 17, motor vehicle service station with fast food and or convenience goods, special permit to planning board.
so, and, this is separate from whether it has a drive-through.
Correct. But know that we'll be picking this up, those will be coming up later.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Numbers 18, 43C 17, motor vehicle repair garage, special permit to planning board.
And we have to go by it.
Well,
There's a bunch of, grammatical issues, lack of clarity.
Number 19, car wash, special permit to planning board. Number 20, restaurant, fast food, drive-in, special permit to planning board or make as of right.
Drive-in is different than drive, to be very clear.
Yes,
Drive-in is
that
like
is
a
pretty
place that you.
Yeah,
place
it's
that
on it.
you- Yes, yes. So this is not about a drive-through. That's fine.
Are we okay with this?
Well, see, the irony behind that too is
we
that,
have a question. Is it by right or is it by planning?
right. Update table 4.3, change CC definitions. So we need to also relook at these definitions because these definitions do not align with the text that's in this section, for instance. Because we don't define restaurant, we define restaurant fast food, but we don't define.
I think
Drive through and drive
But,
in.
I think what the recommendation was saying is that if there's a special permit required,
mhm,
currently it's at city council, we're moving back to
Yeah.
the planning board. If it was as of right, we need it as of right.
Okay,
Is that correct?
yes, but the other caveat to that, I think we kind of talked about this, was that when you look at restaurant drive-in, it's restaurant drive-in or takeout. But then when you look at restaurant fast food, those are two separate definitions, but yet they're both grouped into the same line of text in number 20.
Yes, we need to make additional.
Yes. Right.
okay.
So
And
it's,
just duplicate the information on the additional.
yes, or, right, correct. So the definition doesn't necessarily link up with what's in table 4.3, but we probably do need to revisit these definitions of drive-in and fast food.
Strike me as one of the ones where I think to the extent that we have special permits, we want to move into the planning.
Yes, right, and then leave it.
Yes.
These are also, because they'll take extra work and go on the social, we have them made. We're talking about things that we just all go in one package and things that go later.
You think this is controversial?
Uh,
Is that what you just said? I'm sorry, I didn't follow.
yeah, so I think that there could be a fight over who gets to approve. Or we could possibly sneak it through. It's just, my only question is whether we want to have this done for the initial package or whether this is something that, because it's going to take a little work.
I think if we're gonna do. Yeah,
Because, okay, so I see what you're saying, so the special permit, you wanted to go through us, the planning board?
only, it's very
Only
few,
where there's a special permit in play anyway.
which is the LBGB.
That's where there's a special permit, I think it should go away from the city council and come here instead.
Oh, I agree.
And my question was more, how complicated is this going to do as we update the definitions? And if it's going to take any time, do we want to put in a theoretical second wave of potential changes?
I don't think the definitions are particularly complex to
If
update.
this is easy to do, then let's do it.
I think so. What was your sense of it?
Yeah, I don't think they're that complicated. I think that motor vehicle stuff might be more complicated.
Yes,
Because at that point, I mean, the definitions are very similar, but also kind of odd, like repair garage talks more about installing radios than it does doing repairs. But, yeah,
On the yes category, and then if, as we're doing the work, we realize that it's.
you know, we can figure out what's gonna be more difficult as we get into it.
Yeah,
Right, that makes sense.
And we can report back. Like, we're gonna bring back the package that we're gonna do.
Right.
And then at that point, we can figure out which going where.
So, yeah, this one can go.
yeah.
so we all good.
Okay, the next one, which is number 21. This is related to table 4.3 C 21A, bank, retail banking, financial agency or institution. At this point, I'm calling out IP because I think this is one of those strange things again.
That's the only one where it's a special permit. Everywhere
IP.
else.
Yeah.
Everywhere else is.
So we were saying remove SP allowed by right. Update table 4.3Y, allowed by all zones as prescribed, but basically all you're doing is removing that special permit.
But is the IP gonna be an issue right now? Minnie, you were saying.
Oh, that's true. That's
Yeah.
true.
Which one was
21.
Yeah, banking, retail, financial agency or institution.
So maybe we leave that one alone and leave it by special permit. Because of the fact that it would be up to the council to determine whether or not that would be allowed in the IP.
Could I suggest though, maybe like,
that one is maybe less controversial because it would be possible to do it without completely torturing this. But still possibly leave it alone and let them do
or could just. Could we prep it? And submit it if we can, not if we can't?
it. Yeah, that seems,
I mean, it would be so much easier to just get it done.
But bear in mind, all we're doing is changing a CC to a Y in the
Yeah.
table. So it's that
There's
simple.
not-
No, it was just to make it like, why have the special permit? But in this case of IP, it could be of concern.
anything that changes IP at all, if it doesn't make noise, it's going to suddenly impact scrutiny.
So then do we just leave that one alone then?
That's what-
So leave it alone.
So don't remove anything?
Yeah.
Let it go.
So the next one.
Oh,
is
yes,
IPS.
remember.
Where are we at, Bahamas?
Number
Right.
22,
It's also.
Yeah, I would skip over that for now.
leave alone, do that.
So we're not doing anything, we're
No.
just holding on these?
Yeah,
Right. Okay.
23. Commercial drive-through, special permit to planning board.
Oh,
So
okay, he hasn't told us that.
I think probably it's still.
Okay, well, okay, well, I will check back with people about that. I will say personally, sorry not to see you here, but, we'll check in, I'll check in with you later. We're right in the middle of the meeting now, but thanks for getting back to me. Yeah, no worries, okay, thanks. He said the mayor told him that he has a replacement.
Okay, I'm not aware. So the mayor has,
He said the mayor didn't tell you, like. No?
no,
The mayor has told me a couple of times. I already spoke to them,
I've seen him 4 times this week, you gotta hold on to everything.
whatever.
okay. So, commercial drive-through, we're already doing the reviews, both the.
Wait,
plan-
sorry, we said yes to 22?
No,
We're leaving it alone, do nothing.
Oh, because that was also IP? Okay,
Yes.
great, thank you, sorry, I was
No
just
problem.
listening.
no.
So
Got it.
number 23, we were like, hallelujah, yes, please.
Yes, and so strictly just change it all to, we're already doing a review. It's basically, planning department as well as the city engineer in whatever capacity he can offer. Oh, and then also we have retitled to match 716. So what's in the, right here, it just says, if I recall, it's just, commercial drive-through, but where the actual section under 716 calls out a little more substantial. It just makes more. There you go. Thank you. You want to take over for a bit? Want to change up our voices a little bit? Okay, wonderful.
March?
Yeah,
Alright, so we're good on 20.
Yes.
Number 24, table 43C27 arcade, which is allowed in the currently. Recommendation is to allow by right in BHNG.
So it's already allowed by right in IJ.
And just to change B.
Wait, sorry, am I right?
we're on number 27. Yeah, so it's a special permit in the BE.
Yep.
So just make it allow them all in all 3 zones by right. To get rid of the special permit in the BE.
Okay,
Okay, so the recommendation should be written differently here, right?
Yeah,
It is allowed by right in BH and IG and add BE by right.
And this might be another one too. I'm overthinking it and please don't. Do we also want to describe what an arcade is? I mean, we don't have a narrative section. Make sure that there's one that's not already there, but to your point, yes, we might want to create a definition for arcade.
Wait, can I go back though? Because we had one other thing that was in BE and we're like, oh, don't bother, because BE is just on paper.
This
Oh,
is
yeah.
just cleaning up about the,
Right, no, I get that, but if we're cleaning it up,
right, but I think there was some reason to not clean up. That wasn't just about being used.
I don't remember
Let me go back.
which one was that. It was number 13, retail was incidental. It just seems like if we're gonna clean it up for one, we should clean both. We should either do both or not.
Well, so, but what we're asking that in section 24 is to define arcade in section 2.
the 19 had keep the special permit for zone BE allowed by right in BG, BHIG. 13, right?
Yeah,
So if we're gonna keep the special permit, we should remove the special permit for BE and allow it by right in BE, so that way it can be consistent with 24 to be added by right. Even though they're 2 separate things, because this is,
I understand that nobody's ever using BE.
but
but I still think we need to define what an arcade is. We currently don't have a definition for
It's
arcade.
already, arcade is,
by special permit.
I agree.
And so she wants to say, if we're gonna have special permit here,
Yeah.
if we're removing
Right,
it
gotcha.
here, we should remove it here. For the retail with incidental.
Both number 13 and number.
yeah, and number
24.
9 too. Like,
Oh, okay. That's educational use.
I mean, I would argue that there's a lot more involved in 11,
And 11.
in number 13, it's the whole under 11. Here, yeah. Wait, what? Like retail, incidental wholesale processing, manufacturing products, and majority of just on premises. Like that's a lot bigger than a singular arcade, but I hear what you're saying. I just, do we need to go back through everything that was BE then and make sure that all of our decisions are aligned with each other?
So this is retail and arcade can be used for, let me consider retail,
As a practical matter, no, because BE doesn't actually exist. But as a matter of like having the ordinance be as clean as possible.
But keeping in mind that what we're looking at is retail with incidental wholesale, processing, or manufacturing of products, the majority of which are sold on the premises with less than 10 non-retail employees. So that, and BE was just the idea of, because we have a whole ordinance on BE, was, I want to say it was, the city council would be able to say whether or not they wanted someone doing wholesale processing or manufacturing in a zone that otherwise, in this case, industrial general, you'd be okay with retail, say incidental to wholesaling or processing. In a BH, knowing that's the most intensive of the BH zones, you might want to allow that, or it's allowed by right rather. Similar to the BG, those are the more intensive zones, but the BE was supposed to be more of this welcome to our neighborhood. Well, I mean,
Is anything zoned BE, if we got rid of BE?
That might be the easier solution,
Right.
right?
well, I mean, I think the original idea was to get people, because people wanted that back in the day, but nobody ever did it. No, no. We could. I mean, no different than we want to get rid of OP. No different than we want to join IP and OP.
Make the recommendation.
Right. Sure.
To ditch BE.
The funny thing about it was that was a conclusion of the 2000 comp plan.
Well, that's great.
I know, no, I'm just saying, but it's just ironic that 20 years later, we're getting rid of it.
Yeah.
No,
Taking advantage of this.
right.
It's complicated, something like this.
Off with their heads.
That's a great idea.
Can we do that?
I still think we need to define arcade.
That's I'm totally fine with that. But so basically, we're adding to the list of zoning topics, getting rid of BE.
So- Right, so 25? No, actually, no, because actually I screwed up earlier because we had added all these other things after. So it's actually, this would be section 2 review would be number 32. And then 33 would be remove BE.
We were gonna, and we were
We're on
gonna
two different boats.
do
Yeah.
section 10.
I'm sorry?
We.
Right, so section 10 was now 30. There's actually a whole other list of things that we added after. So it's 28, 29, 30, 31. Because 31 was look at RO. 30,
I have a.
okay, sorry.
ELBJ.
Yes,
30 I thought was
yes. 31 was look at RO. And then 32, based on this evening now, would be what we had said earlier, section 10 review. And then now just number 33 is what we just said, and I'm totally, remove BE.
we are, yeah.
Like, there's no further than that.
No,
No, because those were all things that we added in after the fact. Yeah,
No.
it's hard to rewrite a whole zoning ordinance in one evening.
Can I just say what I think maybe is happening is that tonight we're getting through this.
Yeah.
And then the next day when we have nothing on our schedule yet, we're doing the zoning,
Right, we could do
right?
that.
That would make sense. There's no way we're gonna go through all this shit.
Because we're also gonna have a lot more, maybe we can start it.
or also we could do like 10 per meeting,
Oh,
like do it in a regular meeting.
that would be fine too, if we have time, yeah.
Yeah,
But
I
let's-
like that.
We're gonna get through this today.
Yeah.
I mean, October 28th, all we've got are 2 project updates.
Okay, great,
So the next planning board meeting, we could spend 2 hours on this stuff.
perfect.
Maybe we can have our next planning board.
Well, so the thing is, we've already, well, I mean, I guess no, because those next 2 things are non-binding. They're not, public hearings. So technically, the next meeting, all we've got is Library Commons updating, coming here for a temporary sign review. And then we've got Open Square Residential to provide an update, and there's probably gonna be nothing. Right,
Yeah, and I mean, they can dial in and we can be sitting.
I was just gonna say that, they
Yeah.
can dial in.
Yeah, we can do
Right.
that.
I mean, we don't have our big screen, I don't know what happened over here.
it died.
Isn't that new?
No, that was actually Chief LaFawn got that, or wait, that was like, it's gotta be at least 20 years. It's gotta be at least 20 years ago. 4 fire chiefs ago.
25.
Lucky 25.
We're still gonna define arcade.
Yes.
Thank you.
You
Um,
will get there.
thank you. Motor car, so this is number 25. Oh, no, sorry, you.
Motor car race tracks, speedways, horse and dog race tracks, and permanent outdoor concert facilities. City council is going to keep it.
Yes, let them deal with that shit.
Number 26, membership club, civic, social, professional, or fraternal organization. City council is going to keep it. And we want to refine membership club.
Oh, yeah, we do, especially what we have in Springfield, those membership clubs.
But another thing that's tricky, and I'm sorry to take it on a quick tangent, is that there are certain times that, no, I'm not, to be honest. No, but what's unfortunate, I just had this conversation with someone today. The problem with those types of things, in particular, even churches or religious uses, is that they're permitted to go there, whether it be by Dover or other. So the Elks Lodge has a full banquet facility as well as a kitchen and a bar.
Yeah.
But tomorrow, if they were to decide that they wanted to give up this post or whatever you call it, a restaurant can't move in there. It'd only be another fraternal use. Otherwise, someone would say, well, you forced us into this situation, and they would almost make you create a spot zone there. So that's one thing that's unfortunate about these uses that are allowed in a C of RA, that suddenly they build out to such a scenario that, like, imagine telling Wyckoff that they can't have the restaurant. Well, by rights, they can't right now. But it's but it's been there. But if tomorrow you actually hold them to the fire, that's not allowed in that use or in that zone. So, but that's what happens is with these membership clubs, suddenly, or, that they can just kind of edge their way in and then in 5 years sell it to someone else. And then later be told that you're taking away my use of the property. I'm just saying, that's one thing that's tough with these.
We ought to look at whether there's any.
Yeah, because White House are forever been using it.
Right, but I bet that started based on a membership club 100 years ago.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Because it would have been allowed there, by right, and now suddenly it's a for-profit.
Yeah.
Customary use becomes, it's become customary, I guess, for all clubs to have restaurants.
Yes.
Bars
I
associated.
think grandfather.
Well, I think they're allowed to have they're allowed to have like the 19 hole or whatever.
Typically, pro shop, that kind of
People
thing.
who are playing the hole, of
Yeah.
course, can use it, they're just not supposed to be.
They're not supposed to be, able- but I bet that's how it happened.
Yeah, I think it
That's what I
was.
used to go there to eat.
Yeah,
I remember.
in fact, I just got an invitation to a fundraiser for the mayor.
Oh, see, I'm not on Facebook, I don't get those.
Oh, no, this was in the mail and everything.
Oh, no, I got the one for the volleyball. All politicians do fundraisers.
All right, moving on.
So we need to define membership, so sorry, thank you.
So do you guys empower us to define membership?
Yes.
Don't have to end it. Number 27, wireless communications facility. Planning board already reviews this. I couldn't remember what we had said, but we wanted to split it into 3 different lines in table 4.3.
So there's 784, which is a whole new facility. There's 785, which is a small wireless addition or antenna. And then there was a third section, which I'm spacing off the top of my head.
Oh, so you just wanted to add in
Yes,
like 35 A, B, C.
correct.
And that seems very reasonable for the sake of clarity.
Did you guys empower us to update the table?
Yes.
Number 28, marijuana facilities. We would like the city council to keep this one, but we would like to update the ordinance to reflect expanded retail zones possibly,
No,
and, make marijuana facilities into two different lines in 4.3, one for cultivation and one for retail.
Makes sense to me to separate them.
yes.
Yeah.
Well, especially
I don't
where,
wanna expand them. I don't
especially where
wanna expand the retail
cultivation
zone.
is required, it's considered industrial. And
Yes.
that there, it's not agriculture, so it almost should be redefined. The only thing I think we need to also briefly discuss is maybe it gets, it'll get picked up later, but it'll be the whole, sorry.
I'm totally against expanding the retail zone. I don't care what y'all think, I'm totally against it.
I'm sorry? Yeah, social consumption stuff.
It's already happening.
Yep.
Yeah, that's gonna happen.
It's already happening.
It's happening everywhere. Yeah, but I don't agree with expanding the retail zone. Keep it where it's at. Go to Northampton if you feel a certain type of way. I don't know what to tell you. But we already have abandoned buildings that said they were gonna be marijuana facilities. We're just sitting there vacant now. We're zoned for that. Like, no, either do it here or get the carajo, like, figure it out.
Yeah, no, I would be comfortable with that if you really said the whole question how it experience.
Yes, no, we're not doing that. And then we have, cause the industry, the $1 billion industry is not gonna be a $1 billion industry here. So now we're gonna start up these marijuana facilities in different places, expand the zone, and then they're gonna be empty in 5 years. And now we have a hole in the wall. No, I'm totally against that.
This is something that I feel like whether to expand that zone should be a city council decision.
They want it to be, it was supposed to be, it was supposed to be their decision, because they're all for it.
Yeah, I mean, I think we said city council would keep.
Well, we did.
Yeah.
But I see the only thing we might want to also at least contemplate, or maybe put this on a back burner, is the idea of the social consumption, because that's another thing that we've been,
That one's in the other.
Oh, is it?
This one.
so then, but eventually then it might be adding, if we're gonna split those two for cultivation and then later retail,
We might need to add social consumption later.
yes, okay.
That makes sense.
But for now, out of this, the only thing we're asking you guys to, because the
City council to keep it,
city
right?
council can keep it, but can we update the table into two different lines, marijuana cultivation, marijuana retail?
No,
Yes,
I like
yeah.
that because it allows for more granular control.
And
I
just
agree.
more user friendliness when somebody's looking at this.
Yeah, it's easier to figure this out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also,
Can I cultivate? Can I go?
Yes.
I agree.
And even though it's gonna be the same zone at this point, but it's
Yeah.
still gonna at least break it out, because oftentimes,
And if people just, if like the city council does decide to allow retail in a zone that they don't allow cultivation in, then we can update the
Then
table
they-
much
Yeah,
more easily.
exactly. Yep.
mechanism to do it, not have it too far.
Yes. But yeah, our
So city
conversation,
council to keep special permit.
yes,
But
yeah.
add the line.
If this wasn't our conversation, that's. it's
I
our
know.
conversation.
Yeah. City council to keep it.
29, solar facilities, we would like city council.
leave it alone.
Yeah, let them deal with that.
Same with quarrying.
Yeah, so maybe did you get to go to there is all kinds of proposed stuff happening at the state level about siting of
No, I don't-
energy storage and stuff like that, and so it would be really helpful if we can take a stronger look at that when it's coming.
Wait, what does that have to do with?
We're on 29, are we on solar facility or are we on
Yeah,
chlorine?
no, solar facility.
Okay,
Because they're asking for input about the regs that they're going to have about that.
Who is asking for input about what regs that they're?
Department of Environmental Resources, DOER,
DOER.
maybe?
Yeah. I will find it and forward it to you.
Okay.
But I forwarded it to Brianna, and I think Brianna forwarded it, the list of when they were having the public
Meetings.
meetings, but testimony is still open for it. I haven't had time to look through everything, but I think it's where we might. One of the things that I'm worried about is, what can they do anything they're trying to increase placement, right? They're trying to make it easier. They're trying to create a sort of set of state guidelines so that you could have expedited approval of projects like this and constructive approval.
Yeah, it's,
Projects like what? Sorry. I
it's
didn't-
anything,
Project.
it's solar, it's BESS,
Battery.
it's anything. It's,
Potentially really damaging and intrusive stuff like we want to put solar on an existing home.
I mean, the good news about it is they are trying to create regs so that people would be required to give you an actual full package, not just throw something vague at you, right? So they are trying to make it easier for cities to review, but they are also trying to force it into a more compressed timeline because
They are trying
we
to
need
roll
more
back their
energy.
to say no to them.
Gotcha. Okay.
but myself and Conscom met with Allison, and I'm spacing her last name, but she was from the state. And the thing is, what they're doing is they're promising like they can actually circumvent us and go right to their permitting if they fought. It's actually, they've created a timeline where it's super expedited if you go the state's route, but if you take our route, I mean, who would do it? And actually, Yoni was pretty upset by this because it further expands it in places where his review process might be overlooked. Anyway, I just got something from the state. It might have been this morning, or was it yesterday? I thought I originally forwarded the first one. I'll forward the what I've got to you all. It's something that just came out like literally in the past 24 hours, but it's a way to expedite this 100%. Yeah, it's significant. It is significant.
I looked at it initially and it felt to be like, this is, as it were, part of us. This is intent of the state. That green lands that are currently in control of Western Massachusetts to divert more energy, probably to Boston. HG&E feels that it has enough electric generation already.
We don't.
It has it 2 years ago. We could probably use more, but we don't need to be.
We don't want to put it on
Yeah, we don't want to
green,
put it,
like
we don't want.
when we
to
have
put it
empty
on
parking lots, why do
downtown. Yeah. And this has looked like it is a maneuver and probably has some worse than the industry behind it to get state or get local control out of the way so that we have time to do it. We've had experiences with this in my early days on time. It was very, So,
I'm
to the
gonna find time
extent-
to read it more carefully.
yeah, to the extent we can at least get some commentary, see if there's any way to slow this down, create exemptions for significant land which would not be.
Yeah, I mean, they seem receptive to those ideas, but we need to say it more and more forcefully. So I mean, I would say like absolutely yes to 29, but there's sort of a statewide, just like ADUs came in and laid a whole bunch of
Yeah.
stuff over us. There's a
Yeah.
similar statewide thing happening around energy siting.
Having the city council keep the special permits. Yes,
Great, yes, but
but we have this other work to do with motion.
So for right now, 29, we're gonna leave alone.
Yes.
I'm gonna forward some stuff I just got from Allison, unknown last name, concerning this sighting. Or that to you all tomorrow morning.
You said leave it alone. What are we doing with 29?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is, the recommendation is
Yeah.
leave it alone.
Yeah.
So like you said,
So
Right.
we're saying yes.
Yeah.
so we were all that talking to go back to what we originally said.
Well, just to say,
Like, I didn't,
no, just the point is to say that people really should
Look into
look into that and
Yeah.
everybody should.
Cause it's
comment.
moving fast, it really is
Yeah.
moving fast.
We don't need that.
It was a diversion, but it's related.
don't have contract, up to you.
Number 30.
Yes.
Quarrying or other extractive operations. You want the city council to keep it. However, we would like to revise the definitions in section 2 for earth removal. In section 7.3, it uses like different, a bit
Align
different
them.
language,
Yeah.
so.
Yep. Sounds
That
good.
sounds good.
Warehouse, self-storage, mini warehouse or distribution facilities, we would like the city council to keep that.
Yep. But if they need site plan review, but not for this purpose.
Number 32, bulk fuel or distribution facilities, city council keep. Three, refuse transfer station, city council keep.
Yeah, oh, but I like it, wait, so, but currently it's permit through the Board of Health?
No, they do a
But we're
site assignment.
adding.
So city council has a special permit.
Yeah.
But once they approve it, the Board of Health has the site assignment through DEP, which is the full permit review process.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm still mad about the one down there,
Mhm.
so. And the doors that never close.
They never do, but if you ask them, they close all the time.
They never.
Cause I have reached out to Casella and they're like, nope, the doors are down. You just happen to always be driving by when they're open.
I've sat
I
there.
know.
I've driven by their lights and ran.
I've never seen them closed,
No.
ever.
But so can Board of Health do something about that?
No, but I would argue that the zoning official can probably write a letter telling them that they have to follow. I mean, it would be a combination. It would be, they have to close their doors and that was, what's that?
What about shit though?
They should, yeah, it should be Board of Health, but I think the zoning official could also write something, because that was outlined in the original approval of the board. Because they talked about the fast acting doors and that's why they're supposedly, well, fast acting doors, as soon as the truck pulls in, it should like drop in a matter of seconds. But it doesn't.
Right.
So, but I mean, Board of Health would be the first to approach.
The last time I brought it up, it was like, well, they were waiting on fire.
That was when Sean Gonzalez was here and he's been gone for 3 years.
Right.
So
Okay, so what's the,
I'll talk to Tim.
thank you, bless you,
So what are we doing?
doing God's work.
Nothing.
Number 34, dwelling units and accessory structures, we're going to rewrite the ordinance.
Yes.
So this is just a like,
We'll bring it back to you. once
Yeah.
we read.
God bless you, son. And we'll enter in all
yeah. Yeah.
35, accessory to scientific research, city council keep. However, we are going to define scientific research in section 2.
That would be interesting.
Sounds like
And 36, non-conforming uses, CPP.
Yes. I can keep that.
So unfortunately, they never exercised it appropriately and there's nothing that the board or staff can really do.
I was just gonna say.
But it's a tricky one that we don't necessarily, I don't want to drag this out any longer than we have to. But it's one of those very broad things that they don't know how to interpret it. And so they just pretty much approve anything that comes through. But again, it's probably nothing that the board or staff has the time or desire to want to take on. But it's a pretty significant special permit with only 2 requirements. And it's all based on their final thoughts or opinions, but it's probably nothing that we want to pursue. So I'm just kind of pontificating.
Like 5 years from now, not for now.
Yeah.
exactly what I was gonna say.
The hydrants boys.
And number 37, non-conforming structures other than single and two-family structures, special permit to the planning board.
So we have 2 non-conforming structures.
How so? We have 473.
From 475.
Oh,
When we just did.
that was uses. So under 472 was use, under 473 is structure.
Well, that makes sense, because we're not about use.
We're
We're
about,
What about structure?
yeah, in
Absolutely.
dimension. So
Absolutely, absolutely. I know, I know.
But you know what I'm like,
Yes, I know what you're referring
you know what I'm
to.
referring to. Yeah, so. Yes to 37 and 38.
I was gonna say, they look like that's a group effort right there.
But under, just know that under, yeah, so also, under, it's assuming currently under 932 that the council should be or rather, 473, number 37, they should be following 932, and they're not. But it does, we do have a research other communities staff to review. So we probably will be coming forward with something additional under 473.
Oh my God, it's only 7:00. That's a good thing, but I feel like I look outside and I'm like, oh.
It's midnight. It's winter.
Number 38, non-conforming to plan structure.
We put them together.
Yeah, we put them
Yeah,
together.
yeah, we're
Yeah,
gonna.
sorry, we totally just started the words.
We're gonna rub that right over.
What part?
Parker's like, well, 39, home occupation.
But
But we will be researching how other communities manage. And putting something out.
so 481 is by right, it's just merely, you're not gonna show any outward signs. Number 482 is when you actually have someone coming to your place, you might have more than one employee. And again, it is a special, it's pretty much a use permit to do a business out of your home, which on some level has blown up in the recent past, but I think we should do some research to provide to you all to then later recommend how other communities perhaps are managing it, because right now it's almost a free-for-all, really. So,
Yeah, and maybe your research will show us that we should change it, but
Yeah.
for now, let's not,
right,
until we know more.
Yep.
Yes. Yes, bring it back.
I feel like all of them will be like that. 40, special permit to exceed height limitation, special permit to planning board.
Yeah,
Yep.
I feel like that should always be the case. Yes. 41.
41, special permit for a driveway in front yard.
Dear God, yes. Sorry.
well, we're already, most of the time, we're called to task to do the work for the council anyways, they just don't always listen to staff, so, right, exactly.
42, off premises sign, special permit to planning board.
Yep.
But with this also, and again, I'm gonna add one more
It's
thing.
in the zoning too.
It is, correct. And that's maybe where it'll get picked up, but just, yeah, so I'll leave it at that. I won't say another word, sorry. We'll pick it up when it's in the zoning.
Fine, ordinance. Sorry, fine, ordinance.
43, hospital or accessory building to a hospital structure to exceed the height regulations, special permit to planning board.
That's good, yeah.
That might end up being a controversial one though, because I think that was something that Kevin is always hung up on the hospital. And that he's the one that caused the accessory, he's the one that caused number 7, well, the next one, 44. So he might be in opposition to this one because, yeah,
He works for a hospital, shouldn't he have to recuse himself?
one would argue, but, yeah,
Yeah, we know how we flow here.
Whoever the Ward 6 rep is may have a problem with this, but
yeah, which isn't Ward 6-1.
Yeah,
it's one, but there are volunteers from Kevin.
Oh, gotcha, yeah, until he went at large, that's right.
For some reason, he had an objection to Mark with the word, he's running in 6, he ran in 6.
yeah, I live in Sud. Hoo-hoo.
But, well, I can understand why David wanted that, and the whole constituents about the ever expanding.
Absolutely.
But it was still. It certainly amount of sense to send it here rather than make the city council do it.
I agree with that case that is structural. I feel like
I can see an argument for like us taking the height regulation and leaving them in the parking lot.
Because the parking really is.
Do we want to? The SP to stay with city council? So
Yeah, I was gonna say,
parking
do
lots?
you want it to stay with
Parking lot.
city council
So
for 44? Talk to us,
no, so my only, like I said, I would still try to pull that one, but even though it was KJ. But the issue is that every time a house becomes available, abutting, they buy it and demolish it. And that's what just happened on Forster Street. They knocked down those two brick buildings that were fully unique I don't think there was another building in the city that looked like those two. They took them down and now it's just surface trap rock parking lots. It is too bad that they couldn't go to the planning board just because at that point it would offer some aesthetic value or review. But again, we'd have to create the text to it because it doesn't exist. Similar to the,
Synagogue hasn't been.
right.
Yeah, no, it would be more protected than the city council, I don't think.
We're definitely gonna be more protected. It's just,
But will we be able to actually be protective enough to save anything?
Well, if we're going to try and we know the city council won't, first thing, the worst that happens is the council tells us no.
Okay,
So 43 and 44, the board's gonna still attempt to
Yeah.
take, so to speak, with appropriate text.
45, drive-through facility or use with drive-through service. Special point to planning board.
Planning board, please.
46, motor vehicle service station, special permits planning board.
So this is one that, I mean, I think
they may
now,
try to claw these back, but,
right, but so these are the ones that we've already kind of looked at them because they were in the table, but now this is actually updating the narrative text that's associated.
Yes, it's just gonna feel super.
Repetitive, but it should go quicker, but just know that there's gotta be some revised text. Because motor vehicle service station says the same thing with motor vehicle repair garage, it almost sounds more worse.
Yeah.
Because it's like repairing engines and engine bays and hoists, but yet even the regular repair doesn't say that, so we'll need to look at some of this, the text.
47, bulk fuel, oil, gas, cold storage or distribution operation.
bulk fuel, oil, gas, advertising blimps.
We're gonna let city council do that one.
yeah, because they did some funny stuff. All the limbs.
Since I can go. We can have that.
So so in the 90s, that's how Schermerhorns used to have a giant lobster flying over it. And it kept getting shot down by the neighbors across the street, kept shooting it down. Until one day it got shot, but then it got shot down and it landed in 91. And someone got into a big car accident because suddenly they saw the thing come down in the highway. And then later it never went up again.
Probably got sued for
They
that.
probably did, or felt somewhat responsible for it.
So 47 and 48 are yeses?
And nobody made any jokes about hot air
Nope.
until I did.
We're tired.
Productive right now.
That's 49,
Can
financial.
I add one more thing? And this is off topic, because something came up the other day under number 47. I wonder if we should consider looking into hydrogen. Because under bulk fuel, oil, gas, coal storage or distribution, recently I've heard that there's hydrogen companies that want to do fuel cells here. And which
Oh
would,
my God, that's scary.
it is because of the whole idea that those tanks can explode, so I don't know, I'm not trying to, I know that was nothing we had discussed before, but it might be something we want to investigate.
Like, do you want to just, should add like, or other,
Or special permit for hydrogen tanks, like what do you want it to do?
So adding in bulk fuel, oil, gas, cold storage, hydrogen.
Something like that, perhaps. I mean, that seems to, I mean, you could also perhaps even do fuel cell, or you could do, I mean, yeah, let's just leave it at hydrogen. I won't overthink that.
Should we update the bulk fuel source, like update
Break it down?
Yeah.
potential?
is there a way that you can word it that would include new forms of non-electric fuel.
Emerging technologies.
Yeah, like,
Look
is there-
at you.
Well, so, but if that's the case, then, so just know there is a definition under section 2, definitions, which does say, bulk fuel storage is where large amounts of fuel, coal, oil, et cetera, are received and are stored for delivery to the ultimate consumer at a remote location. But like I said, I know that they're looking to do hydrogen. There's at least 2 companies that I've recently been led.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll figure out what potential bulk fuels to include.
Yeah, we'll also include it in definitions as well. Yeah. Thank you.
wait, but what was we previously had one that was about other kind of energy storage. Which number was that?
Number 32.
I just want to make sure that they're, in line with each other here. 32, let's look at 32%. So, okay, great, we're letting city council keep that one too, okay, good, good. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure it was all the same.
Number 49, financial institutions in industrial park district, related to special permit and allowed by law.
I think this is one of the ones that we said we're holding.
Yeah.
Because of IP.
15, flea market, CCP. And then add flea market as, a line in the 4.3 table.
Sounds good.
I don't have any flea market anymore. We used to be a charter school, like a huge flea market. back in
There
the
was
day.
that one.
There's most here.
Right, and then there was one proposed down on, down at Gus Rama's place next to Sullivan Steel. Not the scrap, that failed, never went anywhere. And then the second floor, I think it was a Valley Green at one point, was looking for a large indoor one. And to my knowledge, if it's not there unless it's illegally being posted, it's not there legally. And if there's another one in the city, it hasn't been permitted.
51,
That's also in the zoning topic too, right, 51?
boarding house. I believe.
Yes, it's under the chart.
Boarding house, city council key.
The issue is it's missing the BC from 726, so it's a case where making sure the text matches the line.
Do it.
And the same with 52, right?
Yes.
Yeah, those seem more, they're more about neighborhood politics than about building
Yeah,
structure.
And then the
Or
cleanup
like-
is just cleaning up the ordinance.
Yeah.
And use chart to make it.
Right. So it's in the use chart, but it's not, or it's in the section, but not the use chart, or the use chart, not the section, I forget which, but
There's
it's,
a bunch of.
right, we just have to make sure that they're the same across the 2.
53 adult entertainment, city council key.
Yeah.
And then add the waste management zone to section 728.
Because it's listed
Because
in,
it's listed as.
correct.
Is getting more close to the.
Yes.
What's that?
Are there any adult entertainment?
There's an illegal one that's currently happening down here in the old former city, what was it? Paper City Clothing.
It's quite disturbing.
It's called Boinked.
And it's illegally operating here in the city?
It might be, but it's a place where you can actually go there and schedule your meeting if you want. And tell them exactly what you want and they'll do it. And you can also try,
Like, that SMN stuff.
yeah, and you can try out all the ropes and all that stuff before you buy them. You can there was just a Dirty 30 party there. You can have your parties hosted as well. Go to your Facebook and you can look it up. Oh, I only do it to lurk. We'll get to we'll get to there's also one in Sturbridge, so there's actually 2 locations.
The fact that you know this.
It's, we found out by happenstance, and there's a backstory, but I'm not gonna waste your time on it. But there was a new company to the local area, and he came in and offered too much. He's like, yeah, this guy told me to come on down here. We go check it out. And so then he told us everything that's in there, but he didn't know that he was actually ratting this company out because we wouldn't have known otherwise. We drive by it every day.
And it's called Boink.
Boink. Well,
Scott, hit me up.
they counts the key special permits.
Tell Scott we gonna take a field trip. Curious.
But it violates every single ordinance that we've got. Every single.
Violate, I'll definitely have some video. of you.
Oh, I'm sure they're violating something.
That's something funny.
It's getting late.
It's still early, it's just, it looks dark outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been here since 7 in the morning.
All right, we'll let city council deal with that.
Yep.
They definitely know about Boeing, I'm pretty sure.
54, third dwelling unit in the existing two-family dwelling. City Council Keith.
Yeah.
Is this fall under you potentially too?
No, this is spelled out only specifically for 2-unit. Well, it's basically built, if you look at the way it's read under 729, it specifically calls out like in an attic of an existing 2-family. So, or how would you
I
say,
know exactly.
the
what
owner
we're
of 2-family dwelling existing area and located in an R2 district to expand the use by one additional dwelling unit. No, you're probably right. I mean, we never looked, I don't think we ever took it down that
Right, 'cause
path.
I think AD is good.
Well, the interesting thing about the ADU is that there was a recent case up, just where Old Justice, we'll say off of Pleasant Street, where there's a pre-existing non-conforming 3-family. And that it was determined by the law department that they could add a 4th unit, even though that building was not conforming, but already had 3 units in it, in a single-family zone, that they were allowed to add an additional unit, ADU.
Where, up top, on the bottom, on the side?
In the, wherever they could fit it, because that whole, so,
Just plus one and back to all.
yeah, even though the whole building itself was non-conforming. Yeah,
Somebody has.
so you, to your point, yes, this is very similar to an ADU type scenario.
So how do we treat this?
So I just think like, because it may not even be possible to require a special permit if it fits it. It just seems that maybe this is one that needs research when we get to,
Yeah.
because there's other ADU
The
research.
way I read it, I don't read it as an AD, the way I was reading it was like those 2 families are like the second and third floor are considered 1 unit.
Yeah, but that could, adding 1 more unit could arguably be an ADU. Regardless, whether we think of it that way or not, ADU doesn't have to have a separate entrance, but it doesn't have to be a separate building.
Okay, I didn't realize that, okay.
Detached.
So I think this maybe needs research.
So we're holding this for research?
Yeah. But that ADU research is probably happening now.
Mm-hmm. 955, motor car racetracks, speedways, horse and dog racetracks, and permanent outdoor concert facilities.
Let them keep it.
And we just wanted to revise the actual narrative.
That makes sense.
And this was only created back in the day when Riverside Park got closed. And the guy, Teddy Bear, who owns Teddy Bear Pools and Spas, wanted to move Riverside Park. And he was gonna buy Mountain Park, to put the racetrack up there. And I had gotten word that this was gonna happen, so I told the then director, he told the mayor, and then the mayor forced this to be by another council, to be able to prohibit it altogether so that you couldn't do racetracks in the city. But anyway, in this case, so it is RA and BH.
56, commercial storage containers. In Council Keith, we wanted to redefine storage
Oh, they're gonna
containers,
say that.
and then research contractors and temporary office trailers that could be considered commercial storage containers.
Right, because are they still out on the
Well, so
parking lot?
no, those are gone. But the other interesting thing about this was I was recently approached by the building commissioner, and the discussion went that we only talk about storage containers, But it's in previous building commissioners, they looked at storage containers as also being temporary trailers. So in the case of the Victory Theater, they were allowed to put up as many trailers as they wanted to because those were office trailers. And that they felt as though it didn't fit the commercial storage container definition. So that's why kind of we're also looking at temporary office trailers to kind of somehow join them in. Because at the end of the day, you're still putting this temporary something on a property. And that temporary can end up being 3 years, depending on how they're building out. So that's further research.
So we're saying yes to that.
Them to keep, but also research.
Yes.
Gotcha.
57, motor vehicle, trailer, or boat sales and rental, special permit to the planning board.
And then also, sorry, we're gonna add, so it's not written the same way. So and in the actual ordinance, it says, no, in the actual table 4.3, it says rental, but then under table, or rather, section 7213, it doesn't include rental.
Yeah.
Or vice versa,
This
it's
is
missing.
basically the opposite end of something we talked about.
Correct. Yep.
So, yes. And 58 is kind of the same.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Number of 8.
59.
59. We're in
60, refuge transfer station.
I think we just talked about them.
Yeah. Same thing with those doors.
Yep, Tim Rivers.
61 is also kind of it's just the other end of something we already talked about.
Same with 62.
Wait, did we talk about that yet? No.
We said it was a complete mess.
Yes,
Yeah.
That was
It
your-
was a complete mess,
Right.
Right,
the recommendation rewrite.
yes.
Again, I think Parker's found maybe a couple in other places.
Yes.
Right. So we've got some drafts at least to work from.
53, independent living retirement communities, continuing care time and assisted living communities. Remove the special permit allowed by right, with site plan review.
Yeah.
That was the same as number 5.
Yeah.
So just going back to make sure that we said the same thing. We said yes.
64, solar facilities in residential districts.
Ooh.
City council, you,
That was the Wyndham one-off. So over her dead body, there'd never be another solar field going into hers district,
Who said that?
But again,
Ward 5 council.
that may be all superseded by whatever comes out.
Oh, I know, I gotcha, you're right.
This-
Yep.
Yeah, this was window. Better one,
What was it?
because she was responding to an initial attempt by the state to at least the same thing. And we were getting a lot of things that many interpretations of local ordinances said you could not stop solar fields. And there were tax credits available, all kinds of stuff that we did not feel like should be was coming in. And she and I think Chris from
Yeah, he was great. Yeah, I forget his last name. That's it, right, right.
Us came up with some reason why we could do it anyway.
Yeah,
But
I do recall something to that effect.
Yeah, but they're gonna make the starter.
that's my instant, no, it's back. No one can violent reaction to seeing this thing. Because this looks like the same thing. And we already had a couple of it last time. Yeah, give the political people. Used to try to stay into it.
And 65 is kind of we already dealt with this
Yeah.
already. Yeah. 66.
56, floodplain overlay district. The special permit goes to planning board.
I'm so glad to have a newly reprinted.
I don't pages fall out or anything.
Mine's just split, I thought it just used.
You have to transfer some of my old notes to the new one, but still, it's just nice to have the like.
Isn't it great they're excited about it, you know?
See, I'm happy I printed it out like I did.
Yeah.
So bring it to the planning board. That feels like it makes sense to me.
I think so too, because people are gonna try to build on that, right?
I mean,
City
basically,
council won't know shit.
well, because they were already reviewing stuff, I mean, it's very few and far, there's not that many projects that go to the FOD. But, I mean, they're reviewing it based on nothing, other than their own interpretation of it, which there is, more recently, all those new definitions got added per FEMA. So it is rather an elaborate review, but I know that, I don't even think they get one a year, so.
Yeah.
But it makes sense to go to the planning board.
Yes.
Shopping center, motor vehicle light service, stuff permits from planning board. And then we talked about an RC district.
Well, see, that goes back to that whole 2018, at least on 3 occasions, the planning board heard, whether it be jointly or later solo, created a new whole RC district, which is one of the things that, I mean, personally, I'd love to see that finally get. But that'll be part of the zoning review topic that we'll talk about next time. But so it's kind of a moot point, but in case they don't approve the RC, it might be something within the SE, you still want to make the recommendation, say, to the planning board. But hopefully we can replace the whole thing with an RC, which is just,
Right.
even the RC needs to be updated because
So
of,
RC is
Yeah.
in the zoning list.
it is, yeah. And we should probably remember, next time to print out or provide the former or the most recent RC, version or RC draft to board. We spent years on that. Anyway.
68, shopping center, indoor theater, TCP. 69, professional office overlay district, TCP.
Yeah, that whole. That seems political.
Absolutely it is.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be.
We do have update, I forget why this is, to be honest. We have CC to keep, assume 932 review, clean up the language in the ZO, text revised to reflect 932, revise and update text 874. I don't recall what that was.
I think it just had messy.
Okay.
That's so it makes sense.
Yeah. Always better if it makes sense.
Like nothing substantive, I don't believe.
Yeah.
They're all gonna break. It's not strong enough, there's too much paper.
Yeah, I know.
That's all mine has.
We could, we'll get you all clips for them. Just so that we can put 1, 2 clips on each. We've got them all, we've got hundreds of them, so.
Everyone provide lunch, can you guys want to give us clips?
So the funny thing about that is though, years ago, there was another person on the other side of the office who was in charge of ordering. She thought she was ordering like 1,000 individual paper clips, but instead she was actually ordering 100 boxes of 100 paper clips. We've got so many paper clips, we could donate them to all, I mean, we've got thousands of paper clips if you ever need paper.
Those are artists that would appreciate.
I know, that's something. Yeah. 74.
171, right?
That's where somebody would say.
Exactly. It's like chainmail.
Town resident.
Seventy-one, downtown residential, non-conforming structures abandoned or not used for more than 2 years. City council, Keith.
I guess, they're not gonna live in the room. I don't know.
I can't make it.
And then 72 downtown residential with dimensional variations and have.
I agree.
But
Go ahead, Kate, talk to us.
So in the case of 884, that's only, so the planning board has it when it's averaging is not
Right.
possible.
Okay.
885 is when averaging is completely possible, you just don't want to follow it. So you're gonna go to the city council so they can do whatever they want and grant it to you.
Okay.
And the whole idea behind the abandonment under 883, it should
Okay,
be,
right, I was just worrying that it was giving away rights
No.
that we have already, so this is just for like pure variation, just because.
yeah, exactly, because you don't want to follow the rules, you're gonna go to the council and they're gonna break them for you.
Okay, yeah.
But
probably better.
83 is a case where this thing's been abandoned for so long that it's let them make the determination if they want to see it reopened again.
Okay. Yeah, all right, so that makes sense. Because those are political.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's 7:45.
7:50.
Before we do that, can I bring up one other thing?
Let's go.
Please. I just when, I don't know, maybe this is other business, I guess. The message that Jeff forwarded from the building commissioner about Victory Theater site plan.
Yes. There is so much talk about that behind the scenes. I am so confused.
But can we approve adding her request? I mean, reading the letter, what she's asking makes sense to me.
The way that we thought we left things in the last meeting was that you guys empowered us to do what needed to be done in terms of like moving that forward. So that in my mind, forwarding that letter on to the Victory Theater already.
Okay, well, that totally, that's fine. I just didn't know if we needed to do anything to make sure this happened. If it feels like,
It's been shared with Victory and with, I'm drawing a blank on the name of the.
What's the name?
And Macedonia,
okay,
to add to the scope.
Yeah.
that's all I needed to know. It's
Yeah.
like, great.
And it might overstep because, but.
Yeah, no, I thought that we basically had, and I would be perfectly happy to do another vote just to do Dalton's vendors saying, we agree that this has to be.
It was only a question because when it got forwarded, I wasn't sure if that meant like it's happened or if that
Yeah.
is like a question, should it,
So
but
Leslie sending that to us was a request that we made in the last meeting saying, hey, could you just formally submit this to us so then we can forward it on?
Right, that was determination.
I just wanted to know that it had been seen and dealt with, and that is great. I'm happy.
Yeah, so they've all got it, but I've heard no follow-up from them. Their next meeting is what, November 18th? November 18th.
Sanders randomly today, he stopped and talked, but he did not bring up anything that he thought we were, that he was going to send us. So I think we're okay.
I'm good. I'm good. All right, do we want to get into it?
I think it's good.
That's you guys. What's the appetite?
If we don't get into it now, what's the alternate? The alternative?
And I do think it would make sense to be in person because
I
we're
agree.
gonna be looking at maps.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
Absolutely. So in any case, our next meeting will be in person so we can do more of this. The November one includes the Victory Theater, and if it actually includes the Victory Theater, maybe we want to be.
We have to be on Zoom because that's the way it was continued.
And
And there's like
don't know
7
that we're
different
gonna have
parties
anything
involved.
attacked by then anyway. We asked.
But maybe December 2nd, there's nothing on yet,
Nothing.
like conceptually in my mind, that could be a time to finish, you know.
Well, that we're doing that next week.
That's what we're planning on.
Okay.
Yeah, we did good. I'm so proud of us. You have no idea. You have no idea.
Maybe I'm wrong.
I think parts of it are.
Well, it's gonna be, again, it's being that, yeah.
Like December second could be a time that we could do in person
Yeah,
again to do more of this if we need to, because right now there's nothing on.
Yes.
Yeah, I also think, even though it feels awkward there, it really is a weekend, so.
Should we say like, let's go till 8:30 or something?
Draw the line at 8:30.
Yeah.
No story.
You're not leaving us.
Was it only 20 minutes ago?
You're not
So
leaving us.
exciting.
Come on, man.
Then you were like, oh, you wanna stay longer? I'm going, enjoy. We appreciate you immensely. Thank you.
so much.
Thank you. And if you're interested in joining our board, if you are looking for members, reach out to the mayor.
Okay.
And let him know you're
Talk to
interested.
Jeff about.
Well, I actually referred him to the mayor's office today because I knew that I wasn't sure what the composition of was gonna happen here until really after mid-November. And then so really it would have been, the Board of Appeals, right now it's a loaded board. We've got no vacancies. But our website doesn't necessarily reflect that. We're working.
Yeah, I don't, my time on the planning board website is like expired on the,
It shouldn't be.
it is,
Because,
because I looked it up. Okay.
no, but it shouldn't be. On the website?
It says no longer exists, it's like 1920.
No, but you were just reappointed.
I know.
Oh, okay.
I know,
Well,
but it
no.
doesn't say, it doesn't reflect
Yeah.
on the website.
We don't have time for anything.
I
Who's
know.
gonna have time? to do
Well, the issue is that the website was so, it's more complicated than you think to update the website. And
I can see that too.
so, it's not as easy as it used to be. So, anyway,
We're revamping our
Thank
style.
you.
Welcome.
Thank
Thanks
you,
for being interested.
welcome. I hope you get the winter you expect since you moved from Florida. We've had very mild winters in the last like 4 years.
Yeah, I think those are good starter winters for Floridians.
Yeah.
We're on ramping you.
Thank you so much.
All right. Talk to us about zoning.
Okay, we could, so I would say that the first 6 items are very
Big.
big.
Revisit the sign ordinance.
So do we want to, like, I feel like it gets more granular as you get farther into this, right? Is that true?
So do we want to
It's a
start this
lot.
party today or do we want to wait?
Maybe we
Back to what Kate said.
feel like we pick off some of the easier ones, we take it out of order and pick off some of the easier
Yeah.
ones to discuss.
And just, and what we should do between now and the next meeting is like, take some notes on the big ones so that we're more prepared.
Yeah. All right, I'm trying to think of what ones were more. Okay.
That left, you want the board?
Yeah, he's maybe waiting for you.
Number 8.
Right.
Strike and remove.
I've had a question mark because I'm like, listen, what is this?
43810, wait, I'll find it.
So this is the part that was originally written for Fairfield, but didn't apply to Fairfield.
But just to confirm, what did we just say on the other one?
I think we said that it needs to be handled by ADU. Which
Oh,
is what
okay.
we're saying.
Okay,
Right. And so we've added a line that says, or we've added a topic about ADUs somewhere. So we're just gonna,
We're just gonna strike this part.
and create the ADU narrative.
Compensations to zoning, conversions to zoning. So what are we doing here? I'm
We're
sorry.
striking this portion of it, conversion to dwellings, because it's bad.
and not applicable, and we're writing ADU. section.
Yeah.
Do you think number 9 is complex or?
Commercial outdoor recreation.
Well, I mean, it's basically telling us that we need to do something further because in the case of, say, a golf course, it currently doesn't reflect. So we've got to update the definition.
Should be included.
Do you want some ideas from us about that?
Yeah.
Section 2, commercial outdoor recreation. That is
Like just like
on
a
page
outside.
14.
Thank you.
It includes, I'll read it, drive-in theater, golf course driving range, ski area, bathing beach. I love that. Sports club, horseback riding, stable, boat house, game preserve, marina, archery, pitch and putt, miniature golf, or other commercial recreation carried on in hall or in part outdoors, except those activities more specifically designated in this ordinance.
Eating outside is not considered recreation.
Would you, so the question, like, would we want all recreation, commercial recreation outdoors to have the ability to have dining, cafe, banquet, or would we want it to only be?
We would want it to be in some way either customarily associated with principal use. In some way connected to it. I don't know how we accomplish that, but I kind of feel like these should not be at risk of becoming like something else with a few horses in the back.
But by today's standards, anything that, so if soccer fields were gonna move in tomorrow, they would want to put in a snack shop or whatever you want to call it. I mean, thinking about that, no matter what, there's gonna be some sort of service-oriented something to the people that are congregating for that recreation.
So this is only allowed in RA right now.
Hmm.
So we're only talking RA. What are examples? What counts? Places like the golf
Besides the golf course, yes.
course,
There's a lot of,
Minus is the canoe club.
canoe club.
Yeah. Unless that's a membership.
I was gonna say, like, number
It's probably membership. I think it is.
Well,
It is,
specifically
it
says, so on
It says
7.3, it says outdoor recreation facility, which includes canoe
There
club.
you go. I got you.
and it's a sports club. At the end of the day, canoeing is a sport.
Well, they also have tennis there. They also have tennis,
So they got a pool there though.
right? Tennis, pool, probably shuffleboard.
Right, golf course.
Rose has canoes.
Yeah, I know that, but I.
There used to be a beach here
We need
before.
a shooting range here, that's what we need.
There is two. One off of Cherry Street, a Royal Revolver Club.
Yeah, but that's, no, we need a real one.
Sorry.
No.
Well, we got the place on Mountain Road
I was
where,
gonna say Mount Tom up that way,
for a shooting range?
like where the old,
Yeah, I know. I'm just the part where you're advocating for another shooting range. Okay.
I don't wanna drive, I don't wanna drive outside from Westfield, Boston.
What did?
They're small. I have my son there, he's a member there.
I think adding another one outdoors.
I'm just, no, I'm talking about me, like, I wouldn't want that in Hollywood, for people that I do, yeah, I like that.
It's, so,
Not realistic.
no, because the issue is like, you got the old place that we just spent millions of dollars cleaning up,
The
that,
distribution of wild, not
when
distribution.
it's the lead shot and all that.
Disturbing wildlife.
Right.
is-
But like down in West Springfield, you have Hot Brass, which is an indoor shooting range, which is probably more conventional by today's standards, because it's not polluting both noise as well as material to the ground.
I go to Flower in Boca Raton.
Is that indoor or outdoor? Oh, it is, okay.
But That's like in the boonies, like,
Yeah.
we're not bothering.
Do you shoot? Oh, wonderful. Nice. Shotgun or pistol?
Pistol.
Okay.
Shotguns are hard.
They are, they hurt
People
your
don't
shoulder.
realize- Yeah.
Yeah.
People don't realize that shit.
Yeah.
That shit once comes like my house. Yeah, it moves.
Yeah, no, you do. You do. If you're not used to it, you get that pushback and you'll get a black and mark.
For
Yeah.
a while, that shit hurts.
Need to get references from, I haven't, it's been probably.
Cause don't be any date night, we're going and then we'll go to shooting range.
Well, no, but what's really great is down in West Springfield. Is down in West Springfield, you can, any gun they sell, they have a case that you can then for $10 get 10 shots and shoot any of the guns that they've got. So, you know, you could try out whatever you want. It's under a controlled situation where there's a guy standing behind.
Yeah,
Yeah, LTC.
A billion years ago, this was actually when I was practicing law.
Mhm.
There was a little club out in Wall Street area,
Okay.
and it was basically underground.
Oh, no kidding.
It was the same setup,
Okay.
okay? You can try out the guns.
Yeah.
You will never go above ground with this.
Yeah,
And it was like,
cool.
you were having a really rotten time with the deal. You could.
Go
take it
shooting.
out and go and shoot at a contact
So,
still something.
Yeah, cool.
That's my LTC.
Good, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. If they don't respond to you in like a month, let me know. Cause I had to put my foot in their ass.
Well, what, so you know, there's now a live fire requirement.
Yeah.
So where'd you put it into? Holyoke? Have you taken the class?
Yeah.
Oh, you have,
Yeah,
okay.
you have to.
Yeah, I know that, yeah. Okay,
I shot in somebody, I took a class in, where was it, Belgium, maybe, somewhere in that.
Okay,
region?
gotcha.
I never went to mine.
No, it was definitely that way. And it was somebody's private range, like we went through some type of.
It was a big website.
Yeah.
Yeah, I go to one in Belgium town, it's scary though, cause I
Yeah.
feel like KKK is gonna come get me, but
I go to West Springfield indoors.
God, you guys are resources I never expected.
Hot Brass, check out Hot Brass Guns Inc. in West Springfield. It's right across from Central Chevy. And I have no affiliation with them, but they have a wonderful facility down there. There's a guy who goes by the name Arlo, because his last name is Guthrie. His first name is really Robert, but everyone calls him Arlo. Super nice guy. He's also a medic in the Army. Wonderful guy. It's such a weird environment when you walk in because they all exercise their right and they all have guns on their hips. And it's like, dude, man, come on, what are you, but that they all exercise the right. So anyway, yeah. Yeah, gotcha. Oh, sure. You never know.
What's happening?
Yeah.
So, great job. First time I got off the plane, Skytech International and.
I don't know. I feel like everybody should have a gun, nobody let's fight, so let's kill them. If we all have a gun, one of us is gonna die, right? I don't wanna die, you don't wanna die, so guess
Exactly.
what, we're not gonna shoot each other.
Right.
We're just gonna keep moving.
But if you have to, make sure you shoot to kill because it's your story against theirs.
You can't say that.
I
That's the
know.
First thing they teach you in gun class.
I know that.
So revising this to include clubhouses, small dining, cafe, banquet. It feels like it makes sense to me, but is it always gonna make sense?
It's only
Would there
really-
ever be a reason not to?
Well, the only issue, I think one of the driving forces behind it is that you currently have Wyckoff, which is operating something that otherwise wouldn't be allowed, but presumably the Hoyle Country Club as well. They have a banquet facility, though I'm not sure how active it is under Eric's ownership,
Right.
but it could. So I think that was one of the primary catalysts or whatever to get us to want to further define it, just to kind of give that some legitimacy. But then thinking that again, for a while there, well, so way back when, Tigers baseball was looking to site their farm team here. And they were gonna basically buy all of South Holyoke. But arguably it wouldn't have been allowed because it's only allowed, there was no definitions for anything that they really wanted to do. It ended up being a ploy just for them to get a new facility wherever wherever their place was. But, just using, I mean, ultimately, someone's gonna want a clubhouse or small dining to be able, think of at one point, there was a major soccer field. They were looking at Gary Rome's property and they were gonna do large indoor soccer buildings.
Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like for some commercial team kind of thing.
So I guess, to me, having not thought about this deeply, but adding clubhouse, small dining and cafe all makes sense because people are already there
Mhm.
and probably wanting those services. But banquets
It's different.
moves things to a different level in terms of like
The law,
volume of people in and out, need for parking.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
All
agree.
It's not necessarily serving their clientele. So I don't know, like if we add banquet, I feel like I would want controls on that.
Like right now, the waterfront is considered a banquet hall.
Right, but by rights, that would have been allowed, that would have been allowed by right anyways.
Yeah.
So maybe we just
Because-
need to do a little more work around defining things.
Yeah, or like is it a separate line where things like clubhouse, small dining, cafe are allowed by right and a banquet by a special permit?
I mean, there's no reason why you can't. It's
Or
just
by
that,
site plan review, or by something, because I just worry that,
Yeah, that makes sense.
there's one thing, like limiting it to like adding services for your people already there versus adding a different business that's gonna draw in other
I
people.
totally agree with that.
right, but then looking at Wyckoff, they're opening up a full
Well-
a renewed restaurant thing.
We are.
They're already there, doesn't mean we should be positive. So
Oh, I understand. No, I got you. Believe me.
that's our classic enforcement problem.
Yeah, I know.
We're doing it and what do we do about
Right.
it? That's always been a problem. That was, Owen McLaughlin was wailing about that when I joined the. town
Yeah.
board 15 years ago.
Yep,
Every meeting, enforcement.
exactly. No, this is, they're just right.
Are we good on number 9? Do we feel like?
I think we're good on it.
So we need further research.
On the banquet part, for sure.
I mean, because the other thing I think we were even contemplating was allowing it to membership only, but who's ever gonna check them? You have to be a member to have an event. But
Yeah,
these
but you
days it's
could-
open to
you
the public. I know,
You would invite outside people.
That's right.
and then it-
exactly. No, I understand. But we already kind of pre-contemplated that a bit, but
So what is Camp John considered?
that's in what, East Hampton, Southampton?
Oh, I always think that's in Holyoke.
No, it's not. It's the other side of County Road. But I mean, there's a bar there, I know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's membership.
Oh, it is it? Okay.
For number 10, that was language given to us.
From the law department, correct. And that was totally over the Schermerhorn's issue that she's now trying, well, I shouldn't say it's not fair. The law department is now saying that, because the argument that was made by Schermerhorn's was the building code is requiring us to do this, so why are you making us do the special permit? For the increasing fence height. So this was the response from the law department.
Where did you want it? Where was the?
So under section, 4633, 4633.
463.
Yep.
Exemptions.
Where like a law is requiring it, so you don't have to do it.
This was saying that federal code grants are.
So this could actually be a C, 4633C.
Wait, how's it different than A?
It has to do with, well,
It's exactly the same.
well, all I know is you're right. I don't know. That's what she told us to add.
In the event that a fence is required,
It's exactly the same.
Well, it says in the event.
It basically says the same thing as A, so what I think this is not adding a C, but just replacing A with this. Does that sound right? Yeah. So replacing 4, 6, 3, 3, A with the following. It's just if Jane thinks it needs to be clearer legal language, I'm fine with that. Even if I don't see it, if she thinks we need it. Okay, but that's easy.
Number 11, I think it's pretty easy too. It's the transfer of business ownership of
Right.
marijuana.
Just rewrite it to get rid of the
Yeah.
review on a transfer of ownership.
So we're good on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Donna, do you wanna?
No, I'm off that one, we guys said it.
Fantastic. Number 12, I feel like is
That's
going back
bigger.
to the beginning ones, the same with
Yeah.
number 13.
Bigger. Yeah.
Number 14. So we are suggesting combining R1 and R1A and keep them as R1A.
We spoke about this, I remember,
Yeah.
it made total sense.
So if you want to take a look at,
So we would keep RA and then R1A, so there would be 2 zones instead of 3.
Correct.
Yeah,
Combine them.
Yeah.
I thought that made sense when we were talking about it.
okay, and whatever is more inclusive would be what would update in 2.
Yeah.
What about
I feel like I looked at it before and it made sense. So I didn't go over it again.
the same with BL and BG, combine those and keep it. as
Where are you,
B-
baby?
Number, the next one. number
15.
And now we're also saying get rid of BE,
That's separate,
Yes, yeah.
right?
yes.
I'm just thinking about how many
Oh,
business
yeah.
zones it leaves us with. So we would end up still having BC, BG, and B8.
Yes.
So we would have 3 business zones instead of 5.
Yeah.
Okay. And that roughly aligns with what agency
Yeah.
suggested. Yeah. So and there's not anything that you flagged as being like
Like in terms of setbacks and all of that.
something that we would need to,
No.
I think it's so similar. There's only, remember, there was only, the only case was like 95 feet of frontage, it was a frontage issue. That we said we would keep the table 5.2, we would keep the less restrictive or the BL versus BG, BL, BG. We would knock it down to 75, but keep all the other dimensions because they're all essentially the
Yeah.
same. I mean, or give or take.
We would,
Use BG, but the 75 feet of BL. Because BG was less restrictive.
yeah. Make it so that more lots would be usable.
yes, right.
What's that?
I think the best one is gonna fall, like, we should,
How difficult.
maybe people
City
should
council.
look at what the state is proposing right now. Before,
Okay.
just, it's like we didn't wanna write all the ADU regs before they.
Yeah. So EV charging is one of those things that they're just everywhere and people are just putting them in wherever they want. So,
I feel like we have enough here though.
Not if,
Not centralized, but they're like all in the same area. Like there's not, like you can't just, like you have to go like to the mall area, I feel like, to get your car charged.
So part of it is that there's different levels of charging, right? There's the DC fast charging and the level 1 and 2. And the level 1 and 2 are allowed by right. Like, we need to define the levels so that we're understanding what energy poles we're talking about. Like, I can put a level 1 in my house. Level 2, it's a level 2.
Or you're talking about home, putting it on your home?
Well, so all the ones that they got, there's like all ones down around, like, the, bus station and stuff, those are level 1 or 2, or 2, I think. The ones by the mall that are by, like the Tesla superchargers that are going in, the Rivian chargers, those are fast, like DC fast charging ones. And I think those should be allowed by site plan review. Like, I think we should still have purview over those. The slow ones that don't have a crazy energy pole, like, I think
I see
should
what
be
you're
allowed by
saying.
right. But we need to define them, and this is all readily available on like DOT.
Do we need to talk to HGV about this?
HGV,
I thought they had some involved now.
I think they do have to be involved.
Just because, you know, how much coal is where in the city.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're already outsourcing.
Well, the one in, you said that twice, what is that?
We don't have enough energy here to supply Holyoke. We're outsourcing other places to bring energy to Holyoke. We've been doing that for the last couple of years.
And that's where
The dam is not giving us enough.
Okay.
Yeah, so we've been outsourcing.
It was not long ago that people were trying to come in with new facilities and they were saying, no, we've got enough.
Yeah,
Well, we may have that, whatever they're doing at the computing center.
I didn't think about that. I forgot about that place.
See, what I was told years ago was when the computing center in its former iteration, whatever, I'm not sure about how whatever's been recently added, but that when that thing turns on, which isn't daily, but when it does, it sucks up enough power in one day to basically equal what every other business and residential in the whole city would take. And that's why there was a big push back in the day. They tried the wind, there was no wind. And then that's why they were totally pushing for solar for the longest time, because how, you know, that was the only real selling point on behalf of the G&E. It's like, we've got cheap power rates. So that's why they were then pushing for all the solar fields so hard. Plus there happened to be the state grant or the credit if you could get one in by a certain date. So, but when that thing turns on, it's a total, like, and that's why 2 data centers, from what I think I mentioned this to you, that 2 data centers were looking at the city. Or maybe I didn't. I think I did. Or did I mention it to someone and they later walked. Okay. Right. Right. But they basically walked because they needed so much power that the city couldn't even handle.
yeah, should something about data centers be another?
So next
It's,
one.
okay, great.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I see.
Number 18, yeah.
Because that 8 minutes.
So there needs to be something for EV charging, but the question is, if they get permitted as a slow charger and we're saying there's no review, how easy is it to swap those units and make them like,
It's an entirely different feed.
is it? Okay,
Like, I have a level 2 charger in
Yeah.
my garage.
okay,
I could not the DC fast charger.
okay.
Just,
No, I just didn't know if there was a way for them to lie. You know, like they could tell us one thing and install another.
Yeah, I have a level 2.
Okay,
I have mine's not fully electric car, it's just that really.
okay.
and in the HGV knows, like, the moment you put that in, like, yeah, because like I
I see what you're
accidentally charged my car one day, 'cause, like I updated the software and it took out my schedule. And HGV called me and they're like, you're losing your $10 for this month, your $10 credit because you charged during peak hours. And I was like, oh shit, I didn't even realize. But like they called me that day.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah,
Somebody's doing their job.
and it was during the heat waves. Like they were
Right.
monitoring. Yeah, and it was a total accident. But so you couldn't just get away.
Okay, I didn't know if there was a way for them to swap the internal and we'd never know. You know,
I think you I don't even know what service you would need to your house to be able to run.
Okay,
You get 200 in, but like, there's no way.
right,
Because the DC shop fast charging will charge my card every.
gotcha.
I wonder if, these are like designations or wording for it that we're using now. But I wonder whether to make the ordinance have longer term staying power, whether it might just be better to like use certain numbers or.
I don't know if that's gonna even stay relevant over the next.
To be true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because like what a battery was capable of 5 years ago, kilowatt wise. if
3
not
years
now.
ago.
Maybe
Yeah.
when, when we have done things like, right, I can't remember when it was, but we wrote some ordinance that allowed for a certain person to adjust rate, like,
Update for technology kind
yeah,
of thing. Okay.
yeah. I would hate to see us have to revise the ordinance every time,
That makes sense.
right?
But does DOT or someone defines it, can we say as defined by mass, did you say that?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe they define,
Since that's all that.
okay, okay.
Maybe we should have that terminology as defined by DOT.
I think it was DOT, it might have been. Yeah, oh.
I mean, I would say we should empower you to go ahead and work on this. And can we just like, before we run out of time, say yes to number 18?
Yeah.
Defining excluding data farms.
In the 5
We
years.
just gotta get our mayor on board with that.
Listen, today you guys have given me a headache with the mayor. Like, I want to sit down with him for real. What the fuck is going on?
Well, yeah, he was trying to pitch the city.
Just make sure you're dressed appropriately.
So please.
I'm not going like I'm going to Boston. It's called Boeing.
Boing. Well, it's Boink, and I think it's Boink, and then the ED is not necessarily attached to the word Boink, so it's like Boink.
I'm going by that retired.
All right,
We still have to do.
We got 5 minutes. What we doing?
is there anything else we can?
Hospitals, number 19. So right now, hospitals are only allowed in residential zones where clinics are allowed in only business zones. So at this point, I think the idea is to allow hospitals in any zones, because today if Bay State wanted, no, only in residential. It probably goes back to the days of like the small local, you know, that you wanted the hospital. Right. So the idea here is just to open it up to every zone, because like if Bay State wanted to come and move into the IG zone, we'd have to say, I'm sorry, you can't do that. But yet they took over all of North Springfield and built out that whole neighborhood.
And there
You
was
know.
no good reason to have like RA, this space state.
Right,
Right.
so we can open it up to everybody, and then also, add in separate lines for medical office and clinic, because.
Yeah,
That's different.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Are you saying we would keep clinics only in business zones? Like if we're expanding hospital from residential to everything, are we
I think we should
are
expand.
we expanding clinics everywhere?
Yeah, I don't see why we necessarily want to do this. If we don't want hospitals concentrated in residential, that doesn't mean that we do want clinics concentrated in, or moving into.
Well,
I don't object, I just,
Right.
I'm not sure that automatic mirroring, for the sake of automatic mirroring.
I think one thing that would be advisable would be,
To do the clinic in a hospital. That's just my thinking.
well, the idea behind clinic is it's like a fast, it's almost like one of those urgent care type places where a hospital is more or less, you might be there for days. But I think this will be one of those research ones, because I think we need first to define what a hospital even is, because we don't have a definition for that. But we do have a definition for medical clinic, if I recall. Maybe I'm speaking out of turn. But I think we need to revisit the definitions, make sure that they're up to date, and then decide from there. But I think even just based on, maybe hospital is there. Maybe I'm missing it.
Yeah, I
No,
wanted
Girls
to
for the
use
next
some-
one.
Hospitals are not currently defined, but medical clinics are. So, I think we need to define that and then we'll do. I think in theory, we're gonna say hospitals are allowed in every zone. And probably leave the clinics where they're at. Yeah, I know, I guess we have to think about something. Yeah,
There's two different sizes of medical clinics. There's medical clinics not exceeding 1 feet. Every 5 acres of land, and then there's medical clinics. So we could already allow, like, we could allow smaller.
Yeah.
So, why don't we break out all of these line items to discuss in depth and define?
Makes sense.
Apologize for not reviewing minutes. But we can do it next time.
Right. Which is the second one there?
Then we're back on,
on a side note, this guy who is here, he's technically like, I don't know if he's Harvard, but he's considered an educator, a physicist, an industrial engineer, and a data scientist. He formerly worked for NASA at one point and Discovery. He teaches physics and active learning supporting diversity, K to 12 undergrad. I mean, he's got quite a resume.
What's his name again?
His name was Adam Lemie. Well, I'm
Yeah. Sorry, I just wanna,
But
could we adjourn the meeting? Sorry, guys.
oh, come on, man, Bria.
All in favor? All of us? All right.
Right, so I'm curious about what